Hello everyone, I hope you can hear us this week. Press 1 if you can hear us. Why is the video called My Crazy Experiment with 2024 Christmas Ads Changed Everything? I did not call the video that.
Yes, you did. You've been on an absolute fiendish clickbait title push recently. I think your desire to beat that random channel in views has caused you to go down to such a dark path in terms of view grubbing that you will.
Yeah, but I didn't call the stream that. I'm being sabotaged by YouTube. Well, I did not. Right, I've changed the name of the stream. I can't believe it. I've never. That is incredible. Because I set the title of the stream in StreamYards. Right, it's called Deepest Law 179 Christmas Ads 2024.
Maybe they've got an auto optimizer now, just to kind of make everything.
That is spooky, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the kind of future of AI stuff, isn't it? You're going to get to a point where AI recommenders just put in all of the titles and descriptions for you. But then you're going to end up with the worst kind of sloppy, horrible, optimized titles, aren't you? So,
well, yeah. I mean, I did. If anybody watched my very little scene how YouTube workflow video thing and equipment that you need to be a YouTuber. Do you remember I did those 2 videos?
Yes. Yeah.
More people watch the equipment one than the.
That's good. Yeah.
Than my workflow one. Which is good because my workflow is my secret. Who cares about the equipment, for God's sake? You need to. It's the other stuff that gets you the views. But anyway,
I thought your workflow is wake up, hit Yummy Mummy Cafe, start a fight with someone on Twitter, and then pull a video out of the bag at the last minute. That's the.
No. Well, although going to the Yummy Mummy Cafe is. It is part of my yes. All right. So, where are we? Christmas ads. Oh yeah. Well, I was just going to say I do have this program that can do that. That can do what you're suggesting, Ferro. It can generate slop titles.
Oh,
right.
Terrible.
But and you know, I kind of you can kind of play around with them. You know. To see, but it's always like the slop title is always it always wants you to. Well, it's in fact it's very similar to the one that it gave it. You know, how this expert tells you, you know, the one thing that can change your life overnight. You know, it's always in that kind of mode. You know, but it's never like that was the machine taking it upon itself to change the title. I didn't press anything.
No, exactly.
It did it on its own. I'll be having words with that with those people.
There's something weirdly techno-Faustian about it, isn't it? Where people are they're trading their own will and ability to get a 0.1% uplift in their click-through rate. You know, it's a dark trade-off. You're selling your soul to a demon for, you know, ever so slightly amount of cash.
It's very Cronenberg-esque or David Lynch or something like that, you know, where you feel yourself becoming part of the machine.
Yes,
you know, exactly. You become more algo than man.
Yeah,
me and the algo, you know, ride as one type thing. Although I run a few experiments, Ferro, and I honestly think that, you know, for the sort of stuff that I do,
Yeah, that's true. It's probably topical. And again, like I think those titles work on a certain IQ range as well. So again, if no, I'm genuine, like not being in a rude kind of way, but it's kind of like the mass man is moved by those things easier, you know. So.
I have to say that I've run a few experiments, and my honest feeling is that they're not as kind of all powerful as, you know. I don't think they move the needle that much personally.
No, I think you're
right. Since I've done the revamp, I've been keeping an eye on what videos do well and what videos don't, etc. I mean, there's a certain amount of randomness as well. There's a casino element to YouTube, and Vox Day actually has a conspiracy theory that like you're playing slots like at a slot machine.
Right.
You pull the lever, it comes out, and every once in a while you hit 777, the jackpot. He reckons that to keep people kind of on the hamster wheel of making YouTube videos for YouTube, essentially, every once in a while they'll give you a cash. Every once in a while, the algo will throw one up and give you a hit, right? And
so the dopamine hits, and then you're kind of like, oh yeah,
I have to say, there is some truth to that, because I'm making 5 videos a week, and some of the ones that have taken off for absolutely no reason at all. There's one called "Why Progressives Fear the Rise of Traditionalism," right? 183.5 thousand views.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the video the day before, the hidden costs of low wage immigrant labor, only 18,000, and the following day, Cuban Missile Crisis 2.0, was 12,000. Right. So for the algo picked up that one. You can see the difference, right? That one took off for some reason. Why? I don't know. And you can always tell the difference between ones like, so earlier that same week, I had the 8 Schools of the Right. Remember where now that one did 33.8 thousand. Okay. That's just, that's an interesting video that AA has made. So that's just my own audience, or the wider kind of online right checking in because that was a good video type thing. But the progressives and traditionalism one, that was the algo. And you can always tell the difference, basically, because it's like, well, there's a range of what your videos are going to hit. And then there's, you've gone into normies, randoms, leftists, etc., who then show up,
Yeah.
And some of them will even subscribe and stick around, and they'll be like, where the hell have I ended up? Anyway, before we get going, Ferro, there is something that you would like to announce, isn't it?
Well, I've got a couple of things to share, if that's okay, quickly. The first thing, so those of you who might follow Luke, aka Lamda, will have seen his Gauntlet stream series earlier on in the year, which of course you were a part of. Mm-hmm. And yes. The whole idea behind this was Luke created this kind of question generating machine, and it was kind of like a bit of a game show. We had to where the streamer had to debate certain topics placed in front of them, either for or against, and he would score you based on your performance. And it was like a fun thing, and I think it did quite well. But following that, Luke thought, actually, maybe there's something interesting with this. Maybe there's something I can do with it. And since that moment, him and I have been working on on a board game version of it. So it's called the Gauntlet, the board game. The idea is it's a team speaking battle where you have debate cards which will kind of prompt discussion, and there's a designated person who chooses who the winner is. But there's an interesting additional layer to it, in the fact that there are some hidden roles. So anyone that's ever played something like Mafia or a Werewolf or anything like that will know those the kind of concept. There's basically a hidden team who's trying to fight against the main team. So it's kind of like an evolution of the original Gauntlet idea. You need at least 5 people to play, so it's kind of like a large group game. But you don't necessarily need to be kind of like a theatre school extrovert to play, because you can just chip in with the debates and discussions. It's just meant to be wholesome fun with your friends, basically. So we've made it. We've we're selling it. We've created a small advert, and there's a longer stream explaining a little bit more about the game. If you want to hear about it, that's in the show notes. But AA, do you want to just play the ad for the Gauntlet now?
I think it's quite a bold strategy, Ferro. We're about to review many dozens of corporate adverts and cast a critical eye over them, and you're starting with an ad of your own.
I mean, yeah.
Looking for a game that will turn those dull moments into wholesome friendship fun? Yes? I'm throwing down the gauntlet to boredom.
Humans can't exist without experience.
The Gauntlet is a speaking game where you put forward the best arguments to some of life's trickiest questions.
It is acceptable to talk during movies at home.
Absolutely. That's a toughie. You might have the gift of the gab, but it's the king who decides who wins. It's the king who decides who wins. Work with your teammates to see if the honourable loyalists will hold firm, or if the conniving conspirators will have the day.
Because it's the only way that we then
Gauntlet, the board game. Only $39.99. Email gauntlettheboardgame@gmail.com.
Well, that looks like it could be a lot of fun. And notably, Ferro, not a single game in sight. Do they still use game?
Yeah. I called the casting agent. I berated him afterwards and said that it needed a lot more diversity. But unfortunately, those were just the actors available on the day, I'm afraid to say. So terrible.
You were like, we need more diversity, damn it, to maximize sales. And who came in on Luke? Who slipped in? But Mr. T. Blair himself, and he's like, "No, I tell you what, we need to flank Ferro from the right." All right. So,
sorry, just to say that we have got basically, you can still buy it now before Christmas, but there's only about 1 or 2 days left before the delivery will mean that you can't get it before Christmas. So if you do want to get it, I'd recommend getting it now. And we've got a limited additional run, but we're going to get some more in January. So it's literally first come, first served. Anyway, there you go.
So we're going to have a look now at all of the Christmas ads from this year. We're going to start with... I can't believe you've done this to me, Ferro. The very first advert I've got, because I downloaded them all last week, is from Currys.
Well, I was wondering, like, AA's had such a great experience with them. Where is all the money in Currys going? And and I will say it's in this ridiculously overproduced advert, as you'll see in a second. So,
all right, so Currys.
Hey Google.
Huh?
Play some Christmas music.
All right.
Good King Wenceslas,
We've been waiting for
top hats. Huzzah!
Well, where do we start? I mean, it wasn't very diverse, was it?
Well, I thought it was a few people, but I think it's definitely less than usual. You know, there was a couple of couples.
Is he? No.
Yeah, there we go.
Just shadow on his face, I think.
No. That's definitely he is a Curry's worker. Yeah.
Is he? Him there? We think it's him.
Yeah. Look at the come on, know your phonology here. Look at the facial profile, the nose, the beaky nose here, the beak.
I don't know. It could just be shadow on his face.
Okay.
I mean, okay. The concept here is that they're in Victorian London, but they've stuck the all mod cons that you can get from Curry's there. So they've got modern TVs and they've got modern equipment. The magic of Christmas upgraded. I mean, from our point of view, and especially from your point of view, Ferro, the idea that importing modern urban music into into a Dickensian Victorian setting is interesting, to say the least.
I mean, it's exceptionally degrading. You know, it's obviously trading in. There's a interesting connection between Christmas and the Victorian period. You know, our modern conceptions. The Christmas tree came from Albert or whatever, and you know, Dickens, etc. So it's trying to tap into that cultural cachet. Also, I think that the people it's trying to appeal to are probably maybe ABs as well. So kind of up like middle class types. They've got some spare cash for expensive electricals, and again, you know, middle class loves Dickens basically. So why don't we tie into that? But they want their kind of technological angle. I mean, it's just like it's just horrible or whatever. There was a guy on one of those wheelie scooter things in the background and stuff. It's just like you're just desecrating the past here. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I just noticed him. Yeah, okay.
Terrible.
I mean, one of the problems they've got with this is that, I mean, clearly the past is just better than now. So, I mean, you look at this, right? The idea that curry sign, that plastic curry sign, is an upgrade on the Victorian design is just not true. I mean, and so the fundamental premise of the advert fails because the past is better than now.
Yeah, I guess the point is it's juxtaposition, isn't it? It's meant to try and capture interest through those contradictions. I mean, I'd say that, like I was saying, that the production quality was very high. This was you can tell it's an expensive advert. I think it's been well shot. They've put in some CGI stuff for the drones, etc. You know, they've got like 4 or 5 scenes here, all in period dress. You can tell the outfits are really good quality. So they've spent a lot of cash on this. But like, I don't know what the it's just a bit of a gimmick, if that makes sense. What's the hit? What's the hook?
Yeah.
Well, it's not really related to the Dickens stuff. It's like, oh, that's a bit funny. You know, it's just like a silly joke kind of thing, really.
This bit was probably the best bit where they were watching, you know, the football of the day.
In the back of it, yes, yeah.
But even then, you're thinking, oh, look, you know, football, it was all white and it was all local teams, and they all had jobs in those factories. Look, unlike now, where everybody's on the dole. The only thing that I was thinking is that there's such a lack of noticeable diversity in this advert that I would, because you know the BBC are doing a lot of kind of cross-casting historical fiction at the moment, where you know it'll be like, oh, you know, it's Henry VIII, but Henry VIII is black or whatever, you know. They did what was it? Anne Boleyn they made black or something. It was something like that.
I mean they do it all the time. But like even for for Wolf Hall, which is really good, they after 2 series, they've now diversified everything on the third randomly. So
what I was saying is that this one is not like that, but it was making me think, I wouldn't mind watching an actual costume drama set in this world, obviously without the curry stuff. I'm just saying, like, it's been a while since you've seen it done in this way, right? Because I mean, they usually basically, throw a scholar in there, basically. So
there's a few hat tips, but I think it's relatively inoffensive. But the question is it because they were trying to respect the historicity of it, or was it because they know their audience is mainly white still? I think so.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the curry seemed to be a magical place where every employee is Indian.
Well, the employees are, but what about the who are buying luxury consumer goods still?
Did you? Well, I mean, there was a lot of boomers in there basically.
Yeah, this is
people our age would.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably true. Actually, the boomer angle, and again, I think that's going to appeal to them. But I think it is basically white boomers is probably holding up curries right now, and that's why they're going for it. So. I think it makes sense for them to not diversify just purely fiscally, and again, I do think the whole US UK split between wokeism being put away, UK feeling very much like less that woke is being put away. I think on the business side, things are not going well right now for many businesses. I've seen some really poor results in a number of like medium and large size businesses in the last quarter, and I feel like people are having to pull stuff together to get ads that work and actually drive sales in. So I do wonder, even though like institutionally from state institutions, UK is going to be more woke, I think we're going to see some less woke ads as there is a desperate need to bring in sales.
Did you know, Ferro, that I discovered a few things about the inner workings of curries while I was, on my various travails. Because when I actually went to pick up the laptop, I had to spend an inordinate amount of time waiting. I think about an hour to buy one laptop. Just that they're just that slow in there. Okay, but I noticed that all of the the curries employees who are subcontinentals, let's just say. They had these walkie-talkies, and there was a clearly white guy on the walkie-talkies barking orders, and he was saying things like, "Oh, we've made a brilliant start. I'm proud of you guys. Killing it today," and all this sort of stuff. And then every once in a while, it'd be like, Pradgett, get on reception or whatever. And I was thinking, like, curries kind of works like Wonka's Chocolate Factory, where there's the Oompa Loompas and then there's like exploitative Wonka in the background. Is kind of odd. And then when I was actually buying the laptop, I picked up a new Blue Ice mic, and I picked up something else because they gave me not just the voucher for the laptop, but like I had like an extra 100 or 200 quid on top of it as well.
Nice.
Because I complained, and the Northern Gina sorted me out, who was also white, by the way. But I bought some headphones, and they didn't have the headphones on the floor. They just had one of those cards where they had to go and get it down from the warehouse. Well, when I was served by Prajit or Abdul or whatever his name was, he had to phone down to the warehouse, right, to see if they had these things, and they were having a ball down in the warehouse, right, and a young lady answered, clearly white, right, and they just sounded like they were having such a great time down in the warehouse. I'm thinking, what is going on in curries? There's almost like a kind of colonial hierarchy there,
there we go.
where the management and warehouse staff are all just kind of exploiting these kind of colonial
labor. I love it.
It's bizarre. Anyway. So the next video then. And then so that was the Currys near Guildford, but then I went to the local one where all the trouble started the other day.
Right.
So
yes.
I needed to pick up a double plug for the missus. Okay, and because for the Christmas tree. Okay, all of the staff have changed. Not a single one, Ferro, which is impressive because Hounslows down the road. If you know that particular Currys, okay. So like they've got a pool of actual, the one in Guildford, I don't know where they're getting them from. They're bussing them in, right? But the one in the one just outside Hounslow, they've got a very firm pipeline, all changed. I don't know if my complaints to Gina got back to them or whatever, but the entire store was staffed by white people, Eastern European. Okay, so I'm guessing Ukrainian. I don't know where they're from, right? But let's pretend they were Ukrainian. Absolutely fucking useless, Ferro. Again, to buy one double plug, it took 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I think they were all getting trained. I don't know if there's temporary Christmas staff or whatever.
Yeah, it could be. They don't.
It was notable that all of the staff had changed. So anyway. Yeah, Currys, worst company in Britain, but good advert. Out of 10 for that first one.
Oh, I'll give it a 5. Oh yeah, I thought the production was really good. I just feel like all of that felt like a bit of a gimmick message. It's not strong enough, I think. So
now we've got Morrisons.
We could have been anything that we wanted to be.
And I'm not saying we should.
But if we try it, we'll learn to abide.
Now, hold on a second. These things have committees, Ferro, and kind of lots of people who have to sign off and come up with ideas. At what stage in the production process did somebody say, we're going to base our advert this year around the notion of making a sock puppet with an oven glove? Do you think like one of the executives like started doing that at home with their kids or something, and they were like, "Hey, I've got a great idea for an advert. Let's get."
It could be. I bet it starts with a song. So I think again, Bugsy always has a Christmas connotations for me. So they were like, "Oh look, let's use a Bugsy Malone song. How can we get people to sing about it? Wouldn't it be funny if you just know." Like I know some senior board exec was like, one of the senior execs was like, wouldn't it be funny if the oven gloves started to sing? And it was like,
one of those.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, it's clearly a pet idea, isn't it? Of somebody.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Anyway, let's carry on.
We could be the best at being good guys.
You give a little love and it all comes back to you.
You know you're gonna.
Oh, there he is. But Big Union Jack.
Interesting, yeah.
Big Union Jack. Could almost be the set of the Lotus Eaters, couldn't it? Or Nigel Farage sitting in his chair.
Be remembered for the things that you say and do. You give a little love and it all comes back to you. You give a little love and it all comes back to you.
Oh, there it is. The completely incongruous family where I mean, nobody has this family. I was waiting for it. All in all, pretty traditional.
I think there is going to be that thin veneer on everything going forwards, but I thought it was decent. Again, you got to understand who are the shopping ads targeted at? Middle-aged mums. It's a woman-coded advert made for women. So it's going to be sentimental. It's going to be focused on the family. It's going to be focused on the food. It's going to be fluffy. It's not going to be serious. So I think the whole thing is woman coded. It does a good job of showing off the food. Again, it's just that like the preposterous family dynamics in there, obviously fake. But I think this would be an effective, although I don't necessarily personally like it.
I got a feeling that shelf on the right there is from Heels, Ferro. Could be wrong. So that looks like an improbably expensive shelf on the right that they've got.
Well, you know what? The people just rent out their rooms for staging and stuff like that, don't they? So it's probably like a rich person's house that they've used.
I don't believe that this family, the family that gets their the Christmas roast from Morrisons, doesn't have that shelf. That's
You think? Oh, I think you should hire up the lodge as a staging shot, and maybe we can get Morrisons to do a family down at the lodge.
Oh dear. Okay, let's carry on. So that was Morrisons. Out of 10 for that one.
I thought it was better than the curries, personally. Like, in terms of raw effectiveness, yeah, I'd say a 6. I think.
Go on.
Fat. Carry on.
Yeah, I think it's already a plot point that he's fat. I think they deliberately wanted a chubby kid here, right? And let me tell you the very hidden visual clue. This is not done by accident, by the way. Wobble. See that? Right, see where it wobbles.
Well.
Right.
The walk.
The director almost certainly was like, "You need to put a bit more bounce. I need to see that stomach
You
wobble."
need more bounce.
Because it's a plot point that this kid is fat, right? They want every viewer to be like, "Oh, this kid's a bit chubby." It's literally a plot point that he's a slightly chubby kid. Okay. Now, is he a Latino, Ferro? Is this a Latino kid?
Mystery meat American.
I think he's a Latino. I think this is like Mexican. If I had to guess. But... then the director's like, yeah, belly first, make it a big splash. We need to really hammer home that you're a fat kid. Anyway,
my mate can dive. I just would assume that the upward forces of the blubber would force him up. I'm surprised he's getting under the water, quite frankly.
He could be one of those Polynesians. They tend to be quite big boned, you know.
Yeah, true.
So hard to say. I'm not very good at. There's many layers of kind of ethnicity in America. I'm not very good at kind of discerning which is which. I'm just saying Latino in general. Is that right?
I
could be wrong. He could be. He could be a Pacific Islander.
I think it looks more Pacific.
Polynesian. Yeah, I think so. Oh, they did it again. The director's like, just wobble a little bit more. This director to say this, I'm telling you. Three biscuits, obviously.
What?
No. Why was this? Why was the advert so bad, Ferro? Why was it bad?
Okay, I'll tell you why. Number one, they had, again, you just know it's either some kind of executive had the concept of an octopus that's staying on someone's head, and again, they were higher up and enough in the business where no one dared question that concept.
I will just remind everybody that they cancelled Greta Thunberg just for having a pet octopus, and they also destroyed Jeremy Corbyn's career for posting a meme of an octopus on over the earth. I just remind everybody of that.
Just say.
But now Disney are putting an octopus literally clamped on a kid's skull.
Like that, because again, you know, like the oven glove thing. Like I can see how that is kind of funny to some people. You know, it's like sentimental, stupid. Just imagine a middle class woman of a certain age. She would think that's quite funny. I just don't think anyone is interested about an octopus being attached to someone's head like that. Like it's just not an interesting concept in any way to anyone.
Well, it's difficult to know what it's going like. Is the suggestion that because this kid is fat, he's got no friends? And because of that,
yes.
Right, so he's a little bit lonely.
Yes.
And so he's got a little octopus mate, and that's made him happy for Christmas. Is that it? The trouble is, it's not endearing. It's not endearing.
Really work. It's almost like again. Maybe this is actually about the octopus represents the other, the unknown. He picks him. It's almost like finding an immigrant in your roof rack on the way back from France or something. That's what that guy's done, and he's like, "Who are you? What are you doing there?" But then he's learned to appreciate the other at the same time, and actually, the other can be a friend.
So it's like E.T.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a literal and metaphorical alien.
Well, what I don't like about this advert is that it does not. it is too happy with little Carlos being an absolute schlub. I mean, look at the fucking state on that.
He's disgusting. Like shame on the parents. I mean, to be fair, they let him come home from the holidays with an octopus stuck on his head, so you can tell that they just don't even bother to look after him.
Well, I tell you what we want to do now, Carlos. Lie on that sofa like Jabba the Hutt, said the director.
I mean, that's ironically that the fatness is the most interesting thing about the advert.
I mean, is the notion that he's an only child and that he's a little bit spoiled? Because he does seem to have an awful lot of stuff around the place. Like, if you notice, there's a random like scale electrics on the floor.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely upper middle class coded. And again, maybe the octopus is the ersatz, like for Disney, where the Disney spirit can make even the most grotesque and slovenly of children appreciate life.
I don't know what was it trying to sell. I don't know.
I don't know. This is probably the worst advert we've seen in a long time, just in terms of like sheer narrative and symbology. It doesn't even have a message. And what was the tagline at the end? The tagline just didn't make any sense. I feel like the entire thing is just a vehicle to show a fat guy, a fat kid around.
Journey start with a dream.
It doesn't make sense because he never dreamed of the octopus in the first place, or the octopus never was part of the dream. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't match up at all.
Look at Carlos lusting over the.
Why is Santa getting those? Why is Santa getting those?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really understand what the whole advert was about. It completely failed. I also love how, by the way, I mean, did they go to Chinatown? Is that the
well, I wanted to stop when I saw the Chinese symbol, and I was like, oh, they're obviously a.
But that's a sushi joint. He's Japanese.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, they had some previously. They're consulting with those in the know. There you go.
One of the odd details about Chubby Carlos is that it's suggested that he's like a medal winning, like he's a white belt, right? White belt.
Yeah. Yes.
But what are these medals that he's won?
His mother bought them for him for doing the most basic of things. You know it.
You cannot. I'm just saying, you cannot. You cannot win those trophies as a white belt. So
exactly, his mother.
Is it suggesting that his dad might be an award-winning martial artist?
No. Also, I feel like, again, you know, when he did the lightsaber thing, it reminded me of, do you remember the classic fat guy with the dual lightsaber meme? But then that again is taking the piss out of fat people. So again, I think the director put it in there just to kind of make him wobble more.
And now I've just realised there's no dad, is there?
There was a dad.
No, that's a lifeguard.
Right. Again, good shout. I thought in this. Yeah,
he's lonely because he doesn't have a dad.
Right. And
but his mother's done pretty well out of that divorce. I'm telling you, because look how big that.
The dad, he's clearly important. He's run up with the secretary. He's like, I'm tired of my disgusting fat child. I'm leaving this household.
You know how Americans call them, call Europeans Europores.
Yes.
What they're not telling, this is the typical lifestyle of the illegal immigrant in America.
This is Biden's immigrant.
His mother doesn't even work. She's on welfare, but they've still got a massive house.
This is all purchased through the stamp system, yeah.
They live in a sanctuary city. All right, that was fucking awful. 0 out of 10. One of the worst ads we've seen in a long time.
It was very un-Christmassy. I thought, like, only
a massive fail from Disney. Massive fail.
Because that was probably worse than the previous years. Do you remember all of the kind of like thinking back at family and stuff? At least I get the message for those, but that was just horrible.
I'm still wondering, was the dad a martial artist and is now dead, or are those trophies Chubby Carlos's?
He actually died fighting martial arts to a gigantic octopus. So the octopus is, symbolic of the rebuilding of relationships. Yeah.
Next one is Asda.
What's up, Nomi?
Every road is closed between here and Sheffield. Are we going to get the store ready for Christmas?
Like we normally do?
Now is not the time for bad gnome puns.
You're right, Maggie. No more messing around. Right, big guy.
Do you know one of the things that I find quite cynical in the world of advertising, and I tell you who are very big on this, is ITV as a channel in general, right? It's, we need to sell you stuff, so here are some regional northern accents, which are a little bit cozy, but this means we're going to flog you some shit. Right? This is like, we're talking to you now, you northern pleb. Right, and they do it all the time. I think of that family in Gogglebox. Have you ever seen that show, Gogglebox?
No.
You know that family with like the bald guy, and they've always got like some cakes there and the dog on the side. It's like, yeah, we're going to sell directly to you. I don't know what level is that in the evil advertising? Was it C1s? Are they selling to C1s here?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of value orientated families again, but like I think you're probably right, because I think Asda suffered really badly recently. That they, like, if you think about the market right now, everyone's broke. Aldi and Lidl are doing really well. Aldi this morning announced £800 million investment in new stores in the UK. They're opening a new store every single week.
No.
The slop aisles are going to be maximising that. They're investing new technology to maximise the slop and the slop aisles. Asda, which has, again, been traditionally the value-focused retailer, has just been totally smashed. They're losing their market share really, really badly. Again, it's the middle. The middle is being carved out right now, and these guys are right in the center. So I wonder whether they're going to go for more of a regionalist strategy, move away from the south, go to the north only. Because if you think about someone like Morrisons, they survived purely in the north for a long time by themselves. So
whenever an Aldi opens, I hate it. And they actually opened a massive Aldi in my hometown back in Wales, and every time I see it, part of me dies. I hate it, absolutely hate it.
Now is not the time for bad gnome puns.
You're right, Maggie. No more messing around. Right, big guy.
Let's get Christmas cracking. Incoming!
Oh no, you okay?
Go big or go gnome.
I don't like this. It's bad. It's just
go
bad.
Big or go gnome. I mean,
it's
this is terrible.
The gnome puns. No gnome. Yeah. Asda are going big. They really need the money, Ferro. Let's make an advert based around gnome puns.
Okay, can I tell you this? That Asda, I heard that a couple of weeks ago they have, since this advert, put their creative agency up for pitch, effectively meaning they're sacking these guys off the back of this advert.
I mean, it's like, we've paid you a lot of money and you've come up with this. This had people sign off on it. Like, people signed off on this advert.
Yeah.
Darbell, no problem, Max.
You two know each other.
Oh, there it is.
I'm sorry, I mean, diversity gnome is horrific there. I mean, that's almost... you know what I'm saying? It's a gollywog-esque, dare I say, because the gnome, by its nature, has the pronounced features. I don't know. Is this allowed? I feel like this is slightly illegal.
Reminds me of the old chef from South Park. Do you remember him?
Old chef. I think there's something more grotesque about it. Almost the gin-like. It emanated from a lamp.
When it comes to something where you've got the diversity, no. Oh, look, a Frenchie. Semi-Agog will be happy. There's a French woman.
That is actually his wife.
And it's a proper old-fashioned French stereotype. Blue stripy jumper, beret.
But she's not got a French accent. She's not got a French accent. She's just
she's missing the baguette under the arm.
This is a certain je gnome, c'est quoi?
Gnome! Yeah, she was.
You're right. She was actually French as well. That's brilliant.
Was he Italian?
Can we go back to him? Go back to him.
I think they're suggesting he's Italian. Which
can you? I want this to be the title of the image of the video. Him doing chef's kiss, black Italian gnome chef's kiss.
It's leaning into that spiel from that Tarantino movie, about Sicilians or whatever. Ferro, furious. Marcus is going to be absolutely furious. Is Marcus? I know all the Italians, because they're essentially being called black again.
French.
Yeah, he's Italian. The Italian dude is black. That's what
I love it that the French get this kind of like normal looking, or like almost hyper stereotypicized, like traditional stereotypicized, and then they get
it's the Dennis Hopper rant.
It's Luigi. Oh, it's Luigi. Hi, Luigi. Hi.
I'm gonna see if I can capture that image of the gnome kissing. It may have to become the the Christmas.
That'd be a good gif, I think. As well.
Oh, that's absolutely.
Oh, have I gone? Am I still there?
Yeah, you're here. I can.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely lush.
Ooh, that's a big one, isn't it?
Now for the best bit.
Time to go gnome, folks.
Driving home for Christmas.
I should have known.
There is no part of that advert that ever once made me want to go to Asda.
It's terrible. Again, I didn't really understand the concept. It was like the storm meant that they couldn't get ready for Christmas, and so they had to summon this kind of weird porcelain army to help them. It's again, it's just a gimmick advert. It's a gimmick. It's not like, again, at this time where people are broke, you either got to focus on focus on family, focus on love, focus on the joy that Christmas brings, focus on the food. Compare it to Morrisons. I left thinking, well, the Morrisons advert, the food looks really good. I would like a nice big Christmas with my family. With this, I'm just left with nothing at all, apart from, aren't we so ironic for using gnome puns? That's it. We're very clever, aren't we? Because we're ironically doing gnome puns now. Anyway, awful.
Do you think that the girl from Asda, who's clearly not very good looking, right? Her defining trait is she's just a normal, right?
Yeah.
Her, right? Do you think she's actually an employee? Or do you think they cast for her? And if so, when they send out the casting call, do they specify we don't want a pretty one?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
And how is that worded? That's what I want to know.
Just like you're average looking, you'd say. You're just not like a person you'd find on the street. Or,
yeah.
There's kind of subtext to say it. / you like maybe earthy, salt of the earth.
Earthy. Well, I mean, how do they work? I'd love to see that casting call. Anyway,
a circular head chronology. Homely. There we go. Thank you, Simon Roberts.
How do they put it?
Homely.
Homely. Okay. Right, let's carry on. Bailey's now. Oh, here we go. See, that's what I use for the image of the actual thumbnail, because it's an all singing and all dancing cast. I'll just put it that way. It's flashbacks of King Charles's coronation.
Bailey's.
Did that make you want a Bailey's?
No. I always thought that someone like Waddington would be your type AA, like a tall blonde.
Well, she's a bit old for me. How old is Waddington?
I mean, I don't know, 50 something, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a bit old for me, I'm afraid.
Old hat. No, but again, who's this appealing to? It's like middle-aged, lonely women. You know, they're gently sipping their Baileys to get through their sad, childless lives. The cats walk past them as they down another bottle.
I thought it was appealing to large black women, because that's mainly like look at that.
Oh yeah, that's very Look at that. It's a fat hand. And also that I think the kind of concept of Bailey's is indulgent, isn't it? It's already like a sugary drink, but I'm going to put a little cream and then a little side biscuit and some chocolate on top.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't lactose intolerance a strong trait in this particular group?
I don't think it stops them, does it?
doesn't stop them having Baileys. I don't know.
Yeah. I think they just carry on.
There's a lot of cream in Baileys, you know. It's like 80% cream or something. So, all right.
Zesty. I described that advert as zesty.
I thought it was poor. I mean, I give the gnome one 0 out of 10 as well. I thought it was awful. The Disney one was awful.
The Disney's like a minus for me. I'm sorry. That was just like it just didn't.
And
empty the void.
I give that one like a 1. So I didn't like it.
Yeah. Fair.
All right, Starbucks now. I mean, it's a bit globo homo coded, isn't it? You know.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, here we have. I mean, this guy's probably some kind of tech exec, isn't he? He's probably just a part of
Indian? Is he like East Indian? I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And look at his lovely family here.
That's probably what Rishi Sunak is doing though. He's gone. Did Rishi Sunak actually go to America in the end?
Probably, yeah. I don't know what he's up to. He's probably doing serving out his term. No, he got elected, didn't he? Actually, as an MP, so he's not going just yet.
So the first thing is, I believe this particular matchup where it's the Indian guy and the white woman,
yes,
is statistically one of the least likely to happen.
Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah, because the in the South Asian males and black women are the two races who, when they do those statistics of dating apps and so on.
Yes, yeah.
They're the two that always come out bottom in the sexual hierarchy or whatever.
Okay.
So that means that this matchup here is statistically unlikely. I will say that in life in general, I feel like I've seen this set up more.
I see this a fair bit, and it's specifically, let's just say A1 class Asian guy, and then like a Slav or an Eastern European.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, they've got a lot of money.
This is it. I mean, that's it's the trade basically. That's the trade.
In America, Indians are very high. I think they may be the highest median income group of anyone in America.
Yeah.
And the median income is incredible. It's like 150K plus average. So the average Indian in America is absolutely loaded.
Yeah.
Because they're working for Google, right?
Exactly.
Or if they work for Starbucks, they wouldn't be a barista. They'd be in the head office type thing, or the CEO, or literally Parag Agrawal, or what's his name? Neil Mohan.
Yeah, exactly.
So
the Brahmin executive class.
Yes. So I feel like, even though statistically they say it's unlikely, I feel like I see the setup more.
I think it's way more common. We need to review, because all of those stats are who matches on dating apps, though, isn't it? And I think that's different.
Yeah, you need to look at marriages
stats. This is what I'm saying.
Or mixed race children stats. Which side is the mother, which side is the father?
This is the thing, because again, like when you're settling down or whatever, all of those.
I mean, up by me, the parents, the parents of AAA school, I would say most of them are mixed in this way, where it's one Asian, South Asian, but well-to-do.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Because they're loaded. I mean, seriously, they're loaded. They have good jobs. They're educated, and they're just like Rishi Sunak or whatever. So anyway, let's carry on. I'm just acting furious with the anti-Italian racism. I captured the moment of the chef's kiss. So
brilliant. I mean, I'm just Just in terms of the advert, it's basically kind of like, look at life as a rush, but Starbucks gives you that moment to breathe, doesn't it? So go get a Starbucks at Christmas time. I mean, does anyone do that? Does anyone like Christmas is going on? I'm popping out. You should do that. Can you do that as an experiment, AA? Can you just pop out one time? Imagine AAA and the wife are doing some Christmas decorating. Just say, I'm going out. I'm going to get Starbucks. See what your wife thinks of that.
It does happen, but because they do the Christmas drinks, don't they? Right? There's a scenario in which we've all gone out to get Christmas tree or whatever, right? And one of us says, well, do you fancy having a coffee or whatever? And then we'll end up, you'll end up in a place like a Starbucks or a coffee. I can see it happening, but it wouldn't be the destination. It would be incidental to whatever the thing, which is, I would say 99% of Starbucks trips would be incidental, and they're quite good at now at putting them in places like that where it's right next to where you do your shopping or something like this. I'm also interested in the setup of this family here because we've got old Rishi here and we've got Slava, but have they managed to birth a Latino child? Like, is this child?
I mean, it's a very orangey shade. Maybe the orange from her hair ended up in the child's face. I also like there's like a dad. He's doing like a soy face on the staircase, which is quite like.
Who's that? And who's that in the background? And look, there's another person.
Again, it's a real mystery family. Also, I mean, look at that disgraceful. They let their kid scrawl a mermaid on the wall and just let that fly. Terrible.
Look. And look at this character here. Is that? I mean, she's got a turkey.
Yeah,
she's trying to get the last turkey. And she look, she got it as well.
She's grabbed it. She's heading right down to the bleach aisle, and she's going to bleach that turkey. So
no. Can I just say, people take time on these these arts. If we drew one of these, I reckon we'd be called racist, Ferro. I reckon if you drew that and posted it, what would call you racist?
What do you mean, like a short African American
I don't know,
nabbing the last turkey, even though she has one? That is actually quite an interesting analogy for society. There, just look at the glee as she steals the last turkey. He was maybe he was going to the shop to pick up the turkey, and she steals it away from him and writes.
Look at her chubby little face. Check out, like, where's this guy from? Is that a Native American?
No. I think he looks like Italian.
He's Italian. Okay. All right. Fair enough. He's got quite a big nose. Okay. Let's carry on. Look, there's a this is a horrible advert. It really is, isn't it? It's just
the art style's really, really nasty. Also, again, sorry. Were they just letting a child half eat vegetables in the store? And look, where's the parent? Go back to the end of that shot there. Sorry, he looks inside the carrot drawer and picks up a half-eaten carrot. And look at this psychotic child. Where's the mother? Where is the parent?
Oh dear! Oh dear!
Right. One of the tropes is old woman embarrassing herself. Like they're trying to.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. I think, is she doing the floss or some kind of other humiliating dance here?
Yeah, super grand.
Terrible.
Look, she's putting her bum about, and then
yes, exactly.
Look at the chap in the back. Celebrating. Trump just won. That guy in the back. Again, huge nose on this one here.
The beak. Wow. That is literally a third of the face. Beautiful.
I'm just reminding you, somebody drew this, not expecting two internet autists to pause it and slow it down. But again, if one of you guys posted that on Twitter, you'd have somebody in your comments being like, "Why do you have to be so racist?" You know. That was abysmal. No, presumably they were in America there.
Yes, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
just awful.
Drinking the out is also not a good tagline as well.
Is that the third 0 out of 10 video in a row?
Again, I give it 1. I thought there was I quite like the woman stealing the turkeys. Actually, I thought that was quite an amusing there's a little amuse-bouche there for the discerning watcher.
It was quite a dismal view of contemporary America, I thought.
It was very dark. It was chaotic, and again, the children just left to half-eaten
feral children.
Disgusting. Yeah.
You know, a woman taking advantage of the, you can loot up until $1,000 law.
Yeah.
She didn't pay for those turkeys.
Yeah, she didn't pay for those turkeys. That's what you don't know.
All right, it's IKEA.
Terrible.
IKEA now.
I never thought I'd meet a dream. She'd kiss me goodnight.
This will get monetization flagged. The use of this song. This is was it Andy Williams or something like that?
But here I am, and there you are. Love never felt so right. I never thought I'd live a dream.
Radość, którą przyniosą nam święta.
It's a foreign advert, Ferro.
IKEA didn't do a UK version. So this is the Polish IKEA.
This is IKEA in Poland, where there's no diversity, of course. In Poland.
Exactly, there's zero diversity.
When I see your smiling face,
zostanie z nami na co dzień. IKEA.
Okay. Good. All right.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, not bad. No, I mean, it was inoffensive, I suppose. Not much else to say about the Polish IKEA advert, I'm afraid. But it was better than a 0 out of 10.
Definitely.
Like a 3, maybe.
Oh no, I got very tired.
Now here is the brand of the moment. It's Barbour. Which has been called far right coded, apparently, by some people. Do you remember Aaron Bastani came out rocking the Barbour?
I do.
Giving
exactly.
a dog whistle. Do you remember that?
I want someone to do a Mosley in a Barbour gif cut. I know him doing his speeches with a Barbour superimposed on top, just to kind of show everyone.
My mum told me she bought one, but I haven't had it yet.
What for you or for
yeah?
her?
No, she bought one for me.
Oh, nice.
And when I mentioned it, she was like, "Oh, funny, just bought you one of those." But I haven't had it yet. Maybe it's a Christmas present. I don't know. We'll see. So I'll be in my next lot of shorts. If I do get it, I'll record it in a Barbour jacket to
nice.
Give my solidarity. Unfortunately, I found it quite charmless, Ferro. And
yeah, I don't think it hit quite well. The reference, for those who don't know, is from a kids show called Shaun the Sheep, which is an Aardman. So I think it's trying to hit the parents, like middle class parents who've probably seen the kids show. But and again, like at least the advert idea is like Barbour makes you warm, Barbour will make you snuggly at Christmas time. So and again, the focus on the scarves is interesting because that's kind of like the go-to gifting item, something like a monogrammed scarf or something like that. So I think conceptually there is something there, but I feel like they didn't. It's like you said, it's a bit charmless, a bit lacking.
Yeah, and not cool enough, I'm afraid, for Barbour, because they're quite trendy at the minute. But that did not hit the spot. All right, so I give that one like a 3. Say 3. Again, it didn't have anything particularly offensive in there.
It's fine.
I have to mention this. I went on Twitter to post the chef's kiss at Ferro at Marcus.
Yeah.
Well, that means I've got all of Marcus's retweets, and apparently Donald Trump has said the United States and Italy are bound together by a shared cultural and political heritage dating back thousands of years to ancient Rome, and that. You have to see this, because the translator's face when he said the translator was probably thinking, hold on a second, back to ancient Rome. America didn't exist, obviously, in that time. So I just think that was a funny little moment that I wanted to share with you. Bit of no matter what else happens, we have that to look forward to in the coming Trump presidency. All right, so we have Waitrose, mystery solved Christmas advert. Waitrose now. I'm expecting this one to be more upmarket than the Asda one. Hold on, it hasn't come through, is it?
No.
Let's try again. Try again. Hold
on. The pudding is gone.
Tell me what you saw.
First of all, the detective has to establish motive. Could it have been greed, desire, or feeling undervalued?
All three. Then you have to establish...
Thank you. I'm solving this, not you. How could someone pull off such a delicious crime with so many witnesses?
With me, little piggies?
Distracting the kids, keeping the host busy, giving me this irresistible gift, and going to such extreme lengths to have the dessert all to themselves. It was Steve. He hid the dessert in the gingerbread house.
I found it. It's really good. Does everyone want some?
Yeah, all right.
Yes. Yeah, I'll take that, please.
Didn't have a lot of diversity, did it, Ferro? Was this an advert for the 1%, I wonder? So
they've got an Asian family, I thought, again, wasn't it? Like
I said, an advert for the 1%. Do you know, all through this advert, I kept on thinking that Neil Oliver was in it. See that guy in the top with the beard there? It's Neil Oliver.
It's Neil Oliver. Yeah, exactly.
About to bust into a rant against the elites, and here he is in a Waitrose advert. Got your number, Oliver. You're really one of the 1% as well. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, this advert.
It's fine. It's fine. Like, again, inoffensive. The bit was okay as well. I thought it was quite funny. And again, it's just trying to trade in on ideas around, murder mysteries being on during Christmas time. So it's trying to make that connection. I don't feel like they didn't really showcase the food well enough. That was one thing I would say. You know, that like you didn't really even get to see the cake, or everything was kind of zoomed out. So I still feel like the Morrisons advert has been the best so far for the actually kind of showcasing the food.
4 out of 10, 5 out of 10.
Yeah, it's again the production quality is good. Good cast of people. You know, there's some serious actors in there.
Neil Oliver. Yeah. It is him, isn't it? Am I wrong? Or is this somebody else?
I don't know. I can't tell. I'm not very good.
Okay. What else we got? Let's try Amazon. Where's it gone? Amazon. Here we are. No, Sainsbury's. Here we are.
Worn coat tails, beef welly boot, wigs in blankets. Oh. Hey, Sainsbury's, how can we make this Christmas a bit more fizz-whizzing?
BFG.
Oh, I got snowflakes on my snorkeler.
I hear you need our help.
As a matter of fact, I does.
We need salmon from Maisie.
Buy gumdrops, just look at them.
And fresh sprouts too.
Oh, glorious!
And cheeses from Grant.
It smells like snozgumbers. Go on, skedaddle. Nosier than a Parker, he was.
That's everything. What now?
We makes it dreamy. Cover them gogglers. Ah, delumptious. Frog scuttle?
Oh, we need to find a home for all this first.
Want to go big this Christmas? Ask Sainsbury's.
Happy Christmas, BFG.
Happy Christmas, Sophie.
Sainsbury's. Good food for all of us.
Pretty high production values on this one from Sainsbury's.
Yeah, I found the diversity the most egregious. Like it's quite egregious.
I think that is the actual Sophie from the movie.
Right.
I think when the movie, the BFG came out, I was a big fan of the animated one from the 80s. So that's the one I know. But
yeah, that's the one I know.
I believe it is actually.
That's her, isn't it?
Sophie from the movie did look like that.
I mean, that's dark, isn't it? You know, she could have had an entire career as a child actor, but has ended up in Sainsbury's. Yeah, I'll look through some of these figures here. So again, that's your Scottish salmon farmer there. There you go. Look at the setting. That's the person.
A very average SNP voter in 2024.
Exactly.
One of the things I found most interesting about this advert, Ferro, is that it was a Sainsbury's advert where almost nothing you could see would actually be bought in Sainsbury's. Like
you got
all
like
of those things in the BFG.
Real short showcase.
I mean, nothing here can be bought in Sainsbury's. You cannot buy snozgumbers in Sainsbury's or any of the BFG's kind of dream things. And then later when you go through, and find I mean, those are the cheeses you're buying in Sainsbury's.
Show me the cheese guy as well. Who's the guy who owns the cheese place?
Oh, I think I can see. Was he a Windrush?
Yeah, but again, this is what I'm saying. And then also the farm as well. It was like a diverse farm. Just like this is just obviously not this. What I'm saying. Like I can see why they put it inside for the families or whatever, but that's not what farmers look like. That's not what a salmon farmer looks like.
Yeah,
anyway.
The diversity is pretty egregious in this one, isn't it? Yeah. Quite a nice spread, though. I mean, the food looks nice. Looks like it. Oh, it looks like it might be
okay.
nice.
I think they showcased it. Okay, it was a long advert though as well. How long was that? Like 1 minute.
1 minute 42.
Yeah, that's quite long, really. And I don't think you got maybe like 20 seconds of food footage.
I also think this street is in Kingston, which I have.
So?
Yeah, I've been. I was.
Go.
I've been boycotting Kingston, but I was tricked to go there. Yeah, it was AAA's birthday, and they booked us in to go to a cinema, and we were on the way, and I agreed to go, and they were like, "Oh, we know you're going to Kingston." I was like, "What?" I said I was never going to Kingston again, which AAA finds incredibly amusing. She always loved the fact that I hate Kingston and won't go there.
Yeah.
She was over the moon that I was tricked into going to Kingston. So anyway, but we ended up watching Moana 2. Pretty nice Curzon cinema in Kingston now. So
nice.
I have to say this actually. But Kingston really went to the shitter after COVID, as did Richmond, which are two places not that far from where I live.
Yeah.
And I have noticed that they've both started coming back up now. Richmond is basically restored post-COVID. It's looking good. And even Kingston, which was really looking pretty run down even 6 months ago, seems like it's coming back up again. So I don't know if this is like just the economy picking back up a little bit more, but it like some places are starting to look less visibly run down. It's just my impression. Like there's new places opening and they're quite kind of shishy and things like that. So I don't know. I was a little bit. I was actually kind of semi-pleasantly surprised returning to Kingston after I think 9 months or almost a year of boycott. So there we are.
I think it's just a London thing. It's just a London thing.
What's the rest of the rest of the country still looking grimy? Okay.
I think so.
I think I like this one more than you. This advert. I think. I mean, okay.
You're a Sainsbury's shopper though. I'm already anti. I'm already like negative against Sainsbury's in the first place. So
nice aesthetics. I mean, okay. Yes, there was some egregious little bits of diversity in there. But I reckon this is probably
every single food producer. Anyway, it's just interesting.
I may even stretch to a 7 for this one.
Oh, it's definitely like maybe a 4.
All right. Okay, let's carry on. Gucci.
Oh, maybe just.
Who is the typical Gucci buyer?
Well, I put some luxury ones on there just because it's interesting to see who they're targeting. I'll tell you basically it's celebrity class, it's the wives of like business owners. So this is like A1s, it's the Chinese and it's the Saudis basically. But if you hang around on New Bond Street, it's quite interesting to see. I think that would be a good destination for us to the Adam Curtis where they were rating people A1B, etc. Go down to New Bond Street and see the kind of people that go along there. But not many ethnic English people along there anymore, I would say.
Again, the first thing I look at is where is this arm from? This job there, the guy in the lift. Was one of the class, back in my libertarian days, they hate unions, the libertarians, and this lift operator job was heavily unionized, Ferro, right? And it massively accelerated the automated, like the do it yourself automated lift. But I believe that the job still exists because it's been protected by a union for all of this time, but it only exists in very select places. But
that guy's actually on 100,000.
Yeah, that job is probably very good because he is a member of this union that's stuck in there for like over 100 years. Yeah. Very cool and trendy, Ferro. This is what I'm getting from this is we're young and cool and trendy.
I tell you, the people buying this are not young and cool.
Every frame of this is said, "I'm young and cool and trendy."
Yeah.
It also reminds me quite heavily of. Have you ever played that game Fortnite? It looks a lot like there's a place in Fortnite that it looks exactly like this. Do you think there's any danger that this is too remote from literally anybody? Because you'd have to be like a multimillionaire to hang out in these places that they're hanging out in, or is it literally they're only targeting multimillionaires?
It's interesting because traditionally they've tried to be more aspirational than that, but I think Gucci ended up in a weird situation where there was a lot of like low end people were interested in the brand. So for, or the wrong sorts, let's just say. You know how Burberry had the chav thing. Where all the chavs are obsessed with Burberry patterns, etc. They had something similar, so I think they're trying to realign themselves and get rid of the aspirational element. I mean, one thing I want to point out is that there's more East Asians in this one advert than we've seen on all the other adverts so far, just to kind of show you how much buying power China has, basically, China and South Korea.
So you think they inserted the Asians in there to target Chinese, right?
100%.
Yeah.
They've also got a corrupt Black African family as well. You know, you see the
yeah.
Here we go. These are actually I know from the like a Nigerian government, and actually have just creamed off a load of cash from everyone.
You're assuming an awful lot there. It could just be executives of some sort.
I'm waiting for Drukpa to please do a phrenology check. He'll be able to tell me the exact. The tribe that these guys come from. So
there's one gentleman I noticed here. Do you see this guy on the left?
Oh, he does look a bit like some kind of weird wizard or something.
I would say this chap here is very likely an employee of like a British Museum or like art centre, because I don't know if you've ever been in, like you know that world a little bit. There's always a character like this around.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I remember, I don't mind sharing this story. When I got married the first time, my first wife was a South Asian, right? She was Indian. Yeah. Well, we had a traditional kind of white wedding, and then a kind of Hindu.
Did you ride in on an elephant?
Well, there was like a Hindu remix thing,
right? Okay,
right. And we kind of did like a kind of best of, because you know that like the actual thing goes like 5 days or something. Really? It was just like a little half-hour remix of it. Well, anyway, there was some museum, I can't remember the name of it, or some that were doing a kind of an exhibition on modern Britain or whatever, and they wanted the white wedding dress and the Hindu stuff that we wore
No way.
as part of the exhibition, right? And there was a guy who came, and he looked exactly like this guy on the left here.
So funny.
And he wanted to talk. And I mean, looking back, it was probably like a celebration of fucking multiculturalism or something, ironically. But he wanted to talk about the various. They just wanted to talk about it.
You're probably like a soundbite in some kind of like museum diversity.
I wonder if that exhibition is still there. But,
I need to find it out. The archive material.
It was in the Horniman. Is that a Horniman?
Yeah, Horniman Museum in the south. Yeah, that's so funny. I'm gonna go there and.
I wonder if that's
the archives.
I wonder if that is still there. But
yeah, I bet it'll be archived somewhere. We need to find out.
But anyway, the curator of that exhibition looked exactly like this dude and dressed like him as well. Like the when they do those full body kind of African outfits, he was one of those. So, oh dear. Okay.
I didn't think it was that great considering their the budget they should have, and it's like meant to be a luxury brand. It's, yeah.
It was boring.
Yeah, I think it was really dull and uninspired, and also it was stupid having it's a Christmas ad, and they had everyone skiing with the chalet and stuff. It's like, isn't that the wrong season? I don't know. I don't ski, so
about a 3 for me. That one. I feel like they may be in danger of coming across a bit too Hunger Games.
You think so? I don't think it was that freakish.
I mean, how can I put this? At a time where a lot of people aren't doing that well, I think luxury is kind of a difficult, because it's very much drawing attention to haves and have-nots.
That's not very elite pilled. You should be rubbing it in the plebs' faces, AA. That's what I think.
Okay. Get the spirit of Christmas. This is Aldi now. Aldi.
On the darkest and coldest of Christmas Eves, the festive spirit had been stolen by thieves. The very last thing that Kevin expected, an impossible mission. Would he choose to accept?
It's not going well for Asda, is it? Do you remember they were on the gnomes?
Yes.
Aldi's already beaten them with the talking carrot.
I mean, they've had this thing for 4 years. It's an actual proper character and stuff. So it's like the meerkats, or whatever. They've developed it. It's got a brand identity. So it's a powerful figure they can use from time and time again.
Accepted?
My humbug friends, success at last. The Christmas spirit is a thing of the past.
At Humbug headquarters in cunning disguise, it was a race to the vault for our vegetable spies.
Kevin, that's the oven.
The peril and danger they faced while inside can never be told. It's classified.
Oh, Katie, the briefcase. The one with the false bottom. Cheeky. It's a booby trap. Stop! I must have left the oven on.
Our agents looked doomed. Would they fail or succeed? Then all of a sudden, the spirit was freed. Even the humbugs seem to have learned.
Well done, Kevin. You've cracked it.
That Christmas is better when goodwill is returned.
Thoughts? I was a bit dull, personally, but
again, you got to be thinking about that middle-aged mum, and I think the carrots have done phenomenally well. They release them as cuddly toys, etc. So they're tapping into that. I mean, I found the prosthetic bottom, to be a bit crass, if I'm honest with you. And they had a butt joke and a boobs joke as well out of it. But I again, just think about your earthy vernacular mother. I think they would find it a little bit cheeky and a bit amusing. There's some good spreads of the food, a lot of focus on the food. So I would say
think this spread was better than the Sainsbury spread?
Oh, definitely. Look at this, way better. Sainsbury's didn't. Their shots were not good for the food, I think. This looks lovely. You couldn't tell it was Aldi.
I feel like you've been paid by Big Aldi. You've been paid to say this, Ferro, I reckon.
No.
Okay, that was about a 4, I reckon.
Oh, I think it's better than Sainsbury. Sainsbury's just it took so long. It was long, like that was a real ramble. I felt like I was strolling around in the mind of a madman.
Coca-Cola. Now this is all CG, is it, Ferro?
I have no idea. You know what? I think this is the AI ad. I think if you check the title a second.
Yeah, AI.
I think
AI
they've made this entire thing out of AI.
Okay.
Holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming.
So this was AI generated.
Yes, I think what they've done is they've used one of those AI machines to create a series of small videos, like 3 or 4 seconds long, and slap them together.
I think I'm pretty sure that this is from just a straight rip from an advert they did a few years ago.
Well, to train the models, they've probably put in their old adverts. So yeah, it is directly taking from it.
Holidays are coming, the season, watch out, look around, something's coming to town, to your town.
There it is. Average Coke buyer.
Can you see it shining bright? Holiday refreshments, what we bring. 'Tis the season, it's always the real
Oh my God.
shining bright. 'Tis the season, it's always Coca-Cola.
I mean, it was all right, I guess. What do you think?
I mean, minus points for using AI, in my opinion. Although, interestingly, how many? Look at that. Sorry, go back to the dad and the daughter there. Like, there's something very sinister about his face. Look at that. There's a demonic face. He's gonna eat you.
He looks a little bit like David Curtan.
It's like Curtin's evil twin there.
There was quite a lot of black people in this one. Like a noticeable number compared to the other adverts that we've seen.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And I'm wondering, is there an actual reason for that? I.e., on per capita, do they buy more Coke than other people in America?
Was it prompted in the AI generations? I don't know. I guess.
Or did they put in the AI? Give us a lot of scholars on this one. I don't know. Because I feel like we've seen a lot of other sort of styles of diversity today, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's been Asians, it's been Latinos and so on, but that one was particularly heavily
scholar coded.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you go to the home of Coca-Cola, which is Atlanta in Georgia, that is a pretty scholarly place, to be honest. I went there for a scholarly conference once, as I told you, and the Coca-Cola world is directly opposite the Martin Luther King Museum. and the home of civil rights, and it's like a black city. Atlanta is. So M&S now to complete our in terms of I give it a 3. Coca-Cola one.
0 minus points
for
absolute AI slop.
So we're completing the supermarket gauntlet because it's M&S now, which directly competes, I would say, with Waitrose and Sainsbury's, I guess.
Yep.
In the marketplace, whereas Morrisons
M&S is the number one like high-end supermarket now, I would say, for food.
And Morrisons, Asda, and Aldi are in competition.
Yeah, like Morrisons and Asda were the two traditional like they're specifically family orientated value. Then Tesco's tended to be more urban. Sainsbury's was in between, was lower than Waitrose,
but higher than Tesco's.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here he comes. I never remember his name. I love Christmas. But I'm exhausted already. Oh, so much to do. I'll give you a hand if you like. Now, let's... What is that?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Ferro. This is Dawn French.
Yes.
And then there's the little Dawn French fairy, but
it's very meta,
If memory serves, this Dawn French fairy appeared a couple of years back or last year.
Yes, it's been in for the last 2 years, so they must have signed a contract with her. But again, I think it targeting wise, it does think about French and Saunders, big in the 80s and 90s. So it's all the women who were sort of brought up on their comedy are now 50 to 60 something. Their parents, they're high up in companies, etc. They're relatively affluent, etc. So I think it's pretty much on the money in terms of casting here. Although I think I really dislike Dawn French and think she is far inferior to Saunders.
Okay, fair enough. But it is directly targeting the exact people who go to M&S. Yeah. As a regular in M&S, it's full of these women, just full of them.
Your neighbours are coming round in about now. This place is a mess, and I don't even have any M&S food. Don't worry about that. What's this?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Dawn French marry Lenny Henry?
Right? Yes.
That means that they are literally one of the few couples in Britain that could genuinely do the diverse family. You could genuinely have Lenny Henry, Dawn French, and they've had any kids together.
He ran off with a younger woman, so.
Oh, they got divorced, did they?
Yeah.
Lenny, you old cad. I mean, he's somebody
which again, I think is there something symbolic about that? I don't know. I mean, you could say that.
Very typical behaviour, you could say, from Lenny Henry.
He
has become one of the worst, by the way.
So smug. So literally, Lenny genuinely. If you see, because I like watching TV from the 80s and 90s and stuff. If you review any of his early sketch shows, genuinely unfunny. Genuine, talent. What a totally talentless man Lenny Henry is, and the level of smugness that you encounter from him.
Bad on Red Nose Day as well.
Phenomenal. And
he's become a terrible race baiter in his later years.
Horrible man.
He fully embraced the woke. Lenny Henry did. So actually, Dawn French did well to get out of there. Did Dawn French and Lenny Henry have kids?
I think they had a kid together. Yeah.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they had one child. She had one child with. In fact, they got divorced quite a long time ago, 2010, and she had since married a man called Mark Bignell. Mark Bignell. Let's have a look at Mark Bignell. Who, in fairness, at least is of the same demographic background as Dawn French, unlike Lenny Henry. So maybe there's a lesson there. All right, let's carry on.
Your turn. Brace yourself. And now the grub. Ta-da! That is reasonably impressive.
Now, what do you think of the spread here compared to the Waitrose and the... Not bad?
M&S is the best food. M&S is the best food in the marketplace. You can get outside of like farmers markets and local shops.
Now, there's somebody in the chat saying wood. I think they're talking about the spread and not about Dawn French.
Good. Someone also said dinner for one, which also made me thank you selling him into the fan. That was greatly amusing.
Pork pie! Oh, welcome, near strangers. Oh, please invade my personal space and eat all my ham and cheese scones.
I love the fact that the first stranger we see is literally a random scholar.
Also, he lives on the street as well. That's how does a guy like that live on a street like that? That's just a question.
Welcome, random stranger, and it's literally him. Okay.
Quintessential hostess, mate. It's not the work of the amazing M&S party nosh, then. Oh, possibly, but when you're a people person like me. This is not just food. This is M&S Christmas food for all the best parts.
Didn't like the party at the end, Ferro.
Yeah, they definitely knocked it down a few points, I think.
It was going really well up until here.
That's a great shot. I mean, that's again really nice shot there.
The advert peaked here.
Yes.
Then it went downhill rapidly until we got it reached its nadir with the dancing scholar there.
It's just a bit weird and unnecessary. You've shown showcase the food. She's ready. They should have just cut it at the door.
Yeah. I also feel like she doesn't have the charisma, but you know, maybe she does with that audience. I don't know. All right, about a 5 or a 6, maybe.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna give it to Morrisons as my favorite. I think because I like Bugsy Malone. So,
which one was Morrisons again?
The stupid talking, the talking oven gloves.
Oh bloody hell! Okay. Did Tesco's not have one?
I couldn't find one.
We haven't got a Tesco's. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you maybe we'll get the chat to decide on what we want next. We can have Amazon. We can have O2 or Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I think they're all quite bad. I think the Amazon is particularly bad, I think.
Let's do them in that order then. Amazon, O2, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Chat have all gone for KFC, by the way. I know what they're thinking too.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
There's something kind of interesting about this advert, Ferro.
Go on.
I hate to get all political, but
let's do it. Let's hear it.
Poor working class guy given a bling up by all the youngsters around him.
That's it. This is the American dream right now. You know, he came to this country. He was a doctor in this country. He was an engineer. He was also a part-time cabaret singer, but he had to work as a cleaner to pay for his disabled children's food. But America recognized the talent inside of him, and he gets to sing.
I do wonder if this is very low-key Trump MAGA coded, you know.
You think so?
Because if you think about the trajectory of the past few years and the target of the woke and so on, the kind of male working class has been MAGA coded in recent years, right?
Okay.
And has been a punching bag for, by the liberal elite. Here you have an Amazon advert that is kind of showing this guy as a hero. It's kind of like, I mean, which way do you think this guy voted? This singing guy? I reckon he probably voted for Trump.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, bit of unity messaging maybe for America. We're all coming together. It doesn't really matter because clearly, if he voted for Trump, right? This fat bitch here, she voted for. Come on, where is she? The girl.
That was the best moment when she starts singing along with him in the box there.
She voted for Kamala Harris. Okay, he voted for Trump, but she voted for Harris. Do you see what they're doing, right? Trump,
that's true. It's a unity message, yeah.
Right. Also, she is the actress from The Last Jedi. Remember that?
Is she?
Yeah, she put on a lot of weight, but it's the same actress.
Okay.
I'm only messing around, but she looks a lot like that character that was kind of written out of the Star Wars. But I feel like this was sneaky unity messaging.
Interesting. I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
My favorite moment of this is if you go right back to the start. What they label is going on here is just the word sonnet on the front. Like there's not an actual even further back with the establishing.
Oh yeah, sonnet. Yeah, sonnet.
Yes. Okay. That's what we're doing here. We're doing a sonnet here. Get your tickets to Sonnet. That just amused me.
Yeah, I'm also interested. Like, do you think this workplace actually exists in America?
No. I mean, there's so many people. Just imagine the line manager was like, you know what, we're going to sit down and just listen to the cleaner sing for like half an hour while there's jobs to be getting on with.
It all looks a bit too nice. I wonder if this workplace actually exists because they've got neat uniforms on and so on. I don't know. If anybody knows of a theatre that actually exists like this in America, I'd love to know. But anyway, I thought it was quite good. That advert. No. Maybe a 4 out of 10 because there's some thought gone into there. They're trying to unify the country that has been politically divided by giving old Giuseppe or whatever his name is, one moment to shine, despite the fact that he's an evil racist who voted for Donald Trump. Let's do the KFC now. Come on. So KFC, what they say, make a turkey thing at Christmas time. And they say like, no, we're not going to do it. We're sticking to chicken. So is that the whole idea?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
There's nothing. It's just an advert that says "Come to KFC for Christmas." It's all right. 5?
No, less than that. I think they think they're being funnier than they are.
Yeah, I always get the impression with KFC's social media team that they're a bit like that as well. When the brands start bantering on Twitter, KFC are always involved in that. Have you noticed that?
Right. Okay.
I feel like KFC marketing department are, fancy themselves as being savvy or something. One thing I don't like is the extreme close-up of the boiling oil. That is gross. Sure. That is pretty gross, isn't it? Chrissy Hart do turkey instead of chicken, and they're like, "No, we're not going to do that. We heard you and we ignored you again." But you see, the thought that does not occur to the average watcher, that does occur to me, is the reasoning behind that decision. Why do they not switch into turkey production for 1 month of the year? Can you imagine the costs and the capital required to stock every KFC with turkey instead of chicken just for 1 month? It would be a logistical nightmare, and it would probably end up costing them more money than it made them. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to, because they've probably got some really good rates on the chicken. That's how they can make things so cheap. Also, the turkey, surely it's going to be more expensive per pound. So then you're basically doubling the price of all of your products. You think people are going to pay twice as much for KFC than not? I don't think so.
I have to say that it looks particularly gross, that sandwich, doesn't it? Like, that does not make me want to go to KFC. It just doesn't look very nice. In my mind,
very ill proportioned. Look at the size of the small bun compared to the bottom bun. I don't know whether it's just one of those optical illusions, but it feels
I couldn't get my mouth around that. Could you eat that? I couldn't bite. You'd have to really squeeze it down to bite that. So, I don't like it. I mean, I think we've talked about this in previous years, but when I was growing up, Kentucky Fried Chicken had a bit of mystique around it. Now I see it as below the other two.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right, it's become like the if McDonald's is BBC and Burger King is like Channel 4, KFC is very much the ITV. It's definitely kind of like become more chav coded. It's become kind of a lower class one compared to the other two. I don't know why that is, but in my mind, it's gone kind of, I don't know, scummier somehow. KFC is, and it never used to be like that when I was growing up. When it was called Kentucky Fried Chicken and it had the Colonel and all that sort of stuff, back in the 80s or the early 90s when I was a kid, it wasn't like that. But at some point, it became urban coded here. What was the other one we were going to look at? O2, was it? O2.
Yeah.
And cook it. Yeah, man.
I need to get something from my mum.
I want a snowfall kind of love.
Sorry, love.
Quiets the world.
No, she was Indian. I'm interested that we're seeing a lot more Indians in these adverts.
There's a lot more Indians. It's interesting. I mean, I've always argued that makes more financial sense because they're by far the biggest minority, or Asians are. So I think just purely Machiavellianly.
These two are much more likely to be O2's actual customers than the scholars. Yeah, I agree with that. And we have said that in previous years as well. I will also note, Ferro, that although there's been diversity in these adverts, none of them have been agreed. Like none of them have been woke, like the old Pepsi Max advert. There's not been a single really woke advert, I would say.
There is one. There is one. We'll get to it.
We'll get to that one. But it's not been. This is just like we want to sell you some phones, and
I think so. Like I said, at most it's this kind of like lackluster veneer where they cast a few people a certain way, but all of the kind of core messages are focused on the product, really.
Yeah.
You know, they're not. It's an obvious. Like I said, the companies are desperate. They need to sell product. They're focusing on it more. You can definitely feel it.
Yeah, they kind of been bored. Like, if anything, they've been more boring.
I feel like it's been less. It's less entertaining for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of low,
Sorry, love.
quiet's the word.
So the thing is that diversity casting and all of that. But the fact is that in Britain today, genuinely, this is a quite big chunk of the population now. I.e., who is actually going to be buying your phones? And this girl here that we're seeing, if you count the total number of girls by ethnicity, she'll be a good chunk of the population right now. So I mean, there is, I mean, it is getting to the point where there's a practical reason that you'd put these in the advert, you know.
I want a snowfall kind of love.
This ain't alive, bro.
'Cause I'm the snowfall kind of girl. I want the snowfall kind of love that lights up the sky from below. I want
Around 2 million households are living in data poverty, so we're giving free data to those who need it most.
How are you? Merry Christmas, honey.
Ask for the National Data Bank in any O2 store. O2, see what you can do.
It was all right.
Yeah, it's kind of sentimental. I like how at the end though it was like the girl did like a voice call to her parents, and it's gonna look at those smug rich boomers who were too tight to give their child enough data points. Look at them. Look at his shirt. You know, lovely shirt. They're having a great time, and their poor daughter's just been left out in the cold with the boomer parents there.
Social contract right there. Yeah. Also, this is one of those times where they couldn't make the street look nice. You actually get a little burst of real life Britain there.
Yeah, this is it.
Peeking through like a kitchen sink drama or something. You know, this kind of modern, grimy, like a Ken Loach movie, you know. Because usually they spruce up the street, or it's obviously a fake street or something, but this is an actual high street and it looks like shit. So there's, I'm giving an extra point for realism. 5. It had verisimilitude. Ferro, verisimilitude. Any others? Let's have a look. What's the woke one then? Which one is woke?
Boots is the worst one.
Let's find the woke one. Woolworths.
That's in America. That's in Australia.
Oh, okay, all right.
That was quite well rated, though.
So this is the boot. Is it the boots make magic again, or there's two of them?
I've got the boot, and then I've got the boots making of as well. So
okay, let's do the
just because that was quite, because everyone always asks how the video is made, blah blah blah, and that entertained me.
Okay, let's have a look.
They want to know. Sugar plum, snowball, come in. Shall we? How do I look? Slaying. Maya. Fabulous. Really? She'll love that. Robin. Oh, that's very them. Next. Marvelous. Incoming. Good.
Oh.
This one's mine.
We're out of bows.
We are never out of bows. Last one. You thought it was all him.
Was that it? What was I mean, they were trying to do
like to the rafters, AA, with disgusting creatures. Look, I mean, this is horrible. There is not a single beautiful person in this advert. She acts totally smug through the whole thing. Actually, Father Christmas, the white man is lazy, while her sassy black wife saves the day again. You thought it was all him.
I feel like none of you have any media literacy whatsoever. They were just going for some Devil Wears Prada nonsense, and they stuck this skinhead black woman in the kind of
look at these horrible creatures
in the Meryl Streep role. Yeah, because they were meant to be fashionistas, and that's what fashionistas are like.
No. This is literally, have you ever seen any kind of German fairy tales? There's the one with the really long fingernails. It's that kind of creature. Look at this, horrible.
They were just trying to be the Devil Wears Prada. If this is the most woke advert of the year, then woke is done, guys. It's done. All right. I mean, the bet. I'm not interested in the bet. The bet is over. Aaron can have his cigar. But the fact of the matter is, woke is over, and it's so obvious. There was a making of this, was there?
If you didn't find that offensive, then there's no point in going through the making of. It's just.
Well, I want to know how it was made now. I want to know
it was quite good just to kind of show you who are the kinds of people involved, basically in the production. I think it's quite short, so.
I'm Pete Markey. I look after marketing at Boots, and we're here today on the set of our 2024 Christmas advert. The theme is Make Magic. It's all about magical, thoughtful, amazing giving, and at its heart is new beauty and all the amazing new beauty brands and beauty gifts we've got available this year.
Basically, our idea was all about Mrs. Claus. So it's all about the women behind Christmas who maybe don't get spoken about as much as some other people. So instead of hearing all about Santa like we do most years, it's all about Mrs. Claus, about women.
Oh, so she's actually meant to be married to Santa Claus?
Yes, that's Mrs. Claus, and the whole thing is like Santa Claus is a fat sloven who sleeps in, while his sassy wife once again delivers Christmas with her merry band of disgusting androgynous creatures.
It is more overtly woke. I'll give you that.
Getting things done, buying all the amazing presents, making Christmas amazing for their friends and family, with all the beautiful beauty, obviously, that Boots has, which has been so fun to work on. Of
course, these Lucy and this girl here, they're about to be fired because obviously this advert.
No, but I bet they look. Go back to the guy at the beginning. Oh, I know we'll go through it at the end, but like, so you've got the Boots exec who is just this tired. Old guy basically, and then they bring in the agency he comes up with the ideas. So like the art director here, Lucy, is probably quite important. VML's the agency brand, so she's really kind of like coming up with the idea, but it's the guy who signs off on it. But the fact that he's wearing this kind of like terrible, the sparkly gold coat, something very officey about that character. He instantly feels like he'll agree to anything that these guys say, basically.
Okay. I mean that they did get the backlash on this advert, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
It was called a woke monstrosity.
I mean, again, You're right. It definitely isn't as bad as previous years. I will 100% give that to you. But this was horrible. I didn't like it.
I'm not interested in the bet. What I'm interested in is
I know.
All of you people fucking recognizing the truth, which you just cannot do. But anyway, let's carry on.
In Prague, really strange because it's 32 degrees outside, so it's very hot. But we're feeling a bit festive.
We're doing a little early Christmas ad to get in the spirit.
Unfortunately, it didn't get anybody in the spirit today. It's not very Christmassy.
Santa's more like the delivery guy. Miss Claus, she's the one who holds it down. So she sees that it's T-minus a couple of minutes till Christmas time, so she has to get her super glam elves to help her pull the last gifts together before it's too late, and then Santa's on his way.
We have to build some of the sets, so some of it's built for real, so people can engage with it. There's like conveyor belts, there's Christmas trees, there's trampolines with pulleys, there's people sliding down poles. A lot of that is for real. So we do have elves.
I'm telling you, all these people have been fired because every single bit of thing I can find about Boots is just talking about how shit this. Well, everybody's talking about how shit this advert was. Even the Independent says why we should really be outraged about the Boots Christmas advert. So, this is the last
hurrah, I think.
Kind of drag, this advert right here. And it's notable because it stands out from all the others we watched, which were just bland and generic Christmas adverts. And this one kind of, I mean, in all honesty, it was just a kind of, I'd be interested to know if Boots hire this company again next year.
I'll find out.
We should keep tabs on what happened to these people, the ones featured in this advert. Are they still, this time next year, are they still working with the same places and picking up multi-million pound contracts with Boots?
Doing stunts.
Really exciting today because it feels quite different for us. We're used to being out on location when we do shoots, but there's loads of green screen because we're building entire worlds. So we're building Boots' unique look on Mrs. Claus's workshop, which is obviously completely beautified, all with the amazing Boots products. There is so many products on set today. We really wanted to show the breadth of the Boots product range.
I want to see the meeting where Emma has to explain to the rest of the team why this advert was such a fucking disaster. I want to see that meeting and see how Emma explains herself, if she's able.
Also, there's something interesting here because Emma sort of represents the millennial girl boss who's been promoted to kind of improve management's percentages for female employees. But you just know it's the crusty guy at the beginning who gives the final sign off. So she's kind of like a bit of a patsy, really. She's kind of like this, like you said, maybe she came up with the idea or whatever, or worked with a team. But the real power still resides with the aging boomer at the start.
Like, that boomer, when the shit hits the fan, is going to throw this lot under the bus.
Yeah, you know it exactly.
Like, yeah, I didn't really want to do it. It was this stupid girl over here. And Emma will have to eat the shit. That's what's going to happen. But see, this is the thing. Our entire culture is run by Emma. Like, literally Emma. I know people like this who are called Emma. You know what I mean?
Completely beautified, all with the amazing Boots products. There is so many products on set today. We really wanted to show the breadth of the Boots product range. So we've got loads of our latest trending drops that have just launched at Boots, but we've also got some of our biggest brands like No. 7, which are absolute national treasures.
We have been going backwards and forwards, creating looks, designing looks from scratch. This is a fantasy world for Boots, for Christmas. What is more magical than Christmas? So the team and me.
Well, the trouble is that Mrs. Claus is so hideous that she just takes the Christmas out of it.
Also charmless. She seems like a total
just
bitch,
utterly
basically.
Charmless advert. So
just
all of this
unloving
failed.
and unkind to her husband.
Yeah, exactly.
Have been working tirelessly.
With these beloved institutions, these British icons and brands. So we're just going to shit all over them and completely get them in the space of one advert,
to bring to you some magical creations.
I'm just here to kind of bring these elves and this Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus world to life and like give them their own personality and kind of bring it into like kind of the real world but still the fantasy world, using people and styles and things that we love in day-to-day life and kind of turning it into this.
Yeah, because my day-to-day life is full of people who look like this. What the fuck is she even talking about,
Elvish, fantastical thing, which is so good. I love it. Boots are just cool and everyone's cool and the agency are great. So it's been a really...
Yeah. Well, I mean, Boots is not cool. I mean, the number one thing that you'd say about Boots is that, oh, it's a place to pick up some shampoo, or oh, we haven't got any toothpaste, oh, let's go to Boots.
Boots is cool. Boots is cool.
Not, Boots is not cool.
I'm hanging out. Cool me and the gang. We're going to Boots later. Gonna hang out.
I need some nail clippers. Oh, where should I go? Boots. Oh yeah. Oh no. I need my fashion accessories.
Collaborative, enjoyable process, which like it's not always the case. So when it goes like this, it's just like, yeah.
I love the Verity soundbite because she says like 7 times inside that small clip, and you just know that she's just totally and utterly mad. Mad as
it's not going to get in that meeting where Boomer gives Emma a bollocking. Yes. She is going to be nowhere to be seen. She'll be on a contract. She will be long gone.
She's moved on. Verity's already gone.
It's Emma who's eating the shit on this one.
Yeah,
and,
you're right.
And the Boomer boss is just not like, he is going to be completely disinterested and on to the next project, and he'll throw this whole team under the bus. I'd love like a kind of fly on the wall documentary, like David Brent style, of that meeting.
All the detail we've got here, both the looks, the styles, the makeup, the wardrobe, all been incredible.
I got a soft spot for Christmas, so I'm excited to see how this one comes together.
I love that moment. It's so often. It's so often. Also, while the genderless elves are in the background just on their phone, it's just like it's such an amazing moment.
Do you know what's incredible about this is that Boots clearly thought they'd gone big on this. Like they obviously had high hopes.
Like,
otherwise, why did they make
great?
Why did they make this? Yeah, this is going to be brilliant. This is our big thing, and it completely kind of pie in the face, kind of absolute disaster for Boots. And I bet you something else as well. I bet you it didn't affect sales one bit.
Oh yeah,
because like I said,
people just need to buy stuff. Yeah,
people just buy stuff at Boots, right? Because you just need something. Oh, I need to get a new hairbrush or something. Oh, right, I'll go to Boots. So I reckon Boots is one of those companies that is weirdly like anti-fragile, that almost doesn't need to advertise because it's just kind of
it's like a supermarket. If you've got the presence, they will come. You know, if you have a physical retail location, people need to eat. People need to get like shampoo and stuff. So
I reckon their biggest mistake in that was hiring such a charmless and ugly woman to be Mrs. Claus.
You think so?
They could have pulled it off.
Who would you hire? Who's your? I mean, apart from Jennifer Connelly.
I don't think Connolly could have done it because she's not. She doesn't play those sorts of characters. I guess like if you start with who played Devil Wears Prada, that was.
I was going to think, what about Hurley? Actually, Hurley would be a good.
Hurley would have been great. Yeah.
Yeah.
In that sort of role. Yeah. Or if you could have got like one of the 90s supermodels, like rather than her, if they'd got Naomi Campbell to do it, who's a genuine diva or something.
Yeah,
they probably couldn't afford Naomi Campbell. But you know what I'm saying, right? You understand what I'm saying? If they'd had somebody less repulsive in that role, it could have, because really it had to be carried by Mrs. Claus. And
interesting. You're right. It would have hit better. I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean, you could even like. I mean, it would have been best with somebody like Liz Hurley, but if she has to be black, somebody. I mean, even somebody like trying to think of like sassy black women.
Please soundbite that someone.
Missy Elliott or someone like that, you know, like I don't know, like they could have you could have found somebody like even Lizzo, right? Even Lizzo, who has like a bit of genuine attitude or something, because that woman just doesn't, like, she doesn't have the charisma required to pull off. So it just came off as being like shit, basically. So anyway, I give the advert 0 out of 10, obviously.
Yeah. No. I think weirdly the Disney one probably was still worse than that.
the fat octopus kid.
Yeah, just because it's just such a almost surreal quality to it.
How long do you have, Ferro? How long?
I can do another half an hour. I can do.
Okay, I've just realised that I never put entropy on, so let me do that. Let me put the entropy on.
There's not a huge more left. There's a few other things. We should definitely see the Apple one because everyone's going on about that, and also the JD Sports.
Oh God, the JD Sports has been hideous in previous years.
Yeah,
absolutely hideous brand. It's very urban, isn't it? Very urban.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about my recent foray into JD Sports? I think it was a JD Sports. It was
we in the market for some new Air Jordans, and I'm just joking.
It was no. So what I did, I walked in. I said, I'm looking for some trainers. She said, have you got any ones in mind? I looked across. I saw some reduced to £40 on the Black Friday sale. I said, I'll have those ones. Wrap them. It took 3 minutes. I was there. So I think I ended up with a pair of Reeboks. One of the most efficient bits of shopping I've ever done. Rivaled only by me buying the Christmas tree, which I also did in a super efficient manner. So I think it was Sports Direct. I think it was JD Sports. They're all the same, aren't they? JD Sports, Sports Direct. All right,
some audiences.
Let's find that one. JD Sports. Here we are.
You guys, hey, let me in, man. Come through, man. Come through.
Oh, we're off to such a bad start.
You guys, hey, let me in, man. Come through, man. Come through.
I mean, it's like urban youth straight away. Urban youth.
The fisheye camera lenses as well. There's like a dark patina on all of the shots.
Yes, CCTV suggesting that these guys may actually do crime as well. But it's the youth. They've been like this every year, haven't they?
Yeah.
Every year
they've been bad. Yeah.
What are you doing in my seat?
Yeah, you took time with the long time.
What are you laughing at?
Right, stop. Wait to work now. You behave, okay?
Is it suggested that there's no dad and this is a single mum with 3 kids?
Beautiful NHS worker. I salute you. I'm going to go downstairs and bang some pans for you. Thank you, madam. What's Druk's new thing? Oh, it's like Mrs. Biscuit Dieter or something like that. Oh, I got the nurse. I have to look it up anyway.
It is suggested that on one nurse's salary, she has to support all these people. Yeah. Reminding me quite a lot of the social contract from Willy Wonka, which I did the other day.
Okay.
Bye.
All right.
The youth, and they're so the youth. Also the youth.
Oh, cranberry and chicken.
What do you think? You're going?
Fair enough then.
I mean, these little shots of actual chav life in Britain. Look. This is
you love it. You love it. You're just like, oh, the derelict here, stroking your beard. Oh, the beautiful attention to detail.
This is proper Ken Loach. This is kind of like snapshots of contemporary Britain. I can see the Guardian loving this advert.
Heads, yeah.
For its attention to detail here. Look at that. Look how grim that is. But that is closer to the real lived reality, Ferro, than the multi-millionaire houses that we were seeing earlier on. Literally only Dawn French lives in that house. Everybody else lives in this house. so grim, but it's accurate. This is the lived reality. I'm loving it.
Salt and pepper chicken, yeah. Thank you.
Family means everything to me. It's love when the people live.
It's a masterpiece. 10 out of 10. It's just fucking brilliant. This was the best advert we've seen today because it didn't try to dress up. This was like, yep, modern Britain is shit. There are areas that are completely stuffed with these people. They don't have a lot of money. Just life is bad. But buy some trainers. It's 10 out of 10. Honestly, it was brilliant. Have you ever seen a more realistic advert? Look at that.
I mean, her scene in particular was like, that was almost artistic, isn't it? That could have been out of an art house film.
Gran, I'm just going to go out. Where are you going? I'm going to go and bang my bum up against some, urban youth. So fucking grim, isn't it? But it's just like, look at the attention to detail. Look at the little knickknack.
The window again. That's like the 40s utility window. The textured wallpaper. It is actually like chef's kiss for that. Yeah, like again, the shot of seeing her nan. Can we go back to that again? Yeah, she's doing her makeup, and then they change the focus. She leaves, and then they change the focus to the nan in the chair. That is actually a brilliant little shot as well.
It's art. I'm telling you, it's art. This is the modern Ken Loach. Look at this. Look at this. See how many times have you see, like, I mean, I would never go in. This place is called something like Cottage Chicken or something like that. Like this could actually exist. Look at the shitty little Christmas tree they've got there. Everything is grim and grimy and horrible in this advert. Look at that. Look at the state on that cash only kebab shop, with Jamal and Abdul high-fiving. It's masterpiece. 10 out of 10. That was brilliant. That was a high. We're not gonna top that one.
Okay.
What else have we got? Walmart, Lidl. Lidl have got an advert. Should we do that one?
Yeah, come on.
We'll see where it rates in the supermarket top 10.
Thank you. When the bell rings.
Is this girl wearing an EU coat?
It is. I didn't even notice that. And yeah, the yellow.
Make a wish. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
No, Ferro, I was thinking you could do a really dark version of this advert with some of our guys. Just recreate this with some of our guys and imagine the sorts of things they wish for. Imagine what they'd wish for. You can see some of them, it's better the little biscuits or the little. It'd be like everybody suddenly in a uniform, or
Steve Law's just wishing, and then there's a cruise ship, and he's ferrying people into it. Destination unknown.
Hundreds of ships leaving the country full of, What's based Emma going to do, Ferro? Is she going to bring Jesus in?
Yeah, no, she's going to get a Puritan's hat on, and then she's going to get a little picture of Thomas Cromwell.
Like, no,
Christmas
this ends now. This materialistic, horrible Christmas ends now. We're bringing Jesus back in. What's Emma going to do? Let's have a look. Did she just make the diversity disappear as well? Just based Emma just making oh no. Oh no, it's even worse.
It's going to these people. It's terrible.
Yeah, she is
Not
being
based.
a socialist and redistributing the wealth. But
She
Emma
hold
is
on a
not
second.
based.
Exactly. They had the power to conjure up anything, but she specifically, she could have conjured up new stuff for her family, but she specifically took away what they had to give away, even though she had the power to create stuff out of nothing. So
She has robbed her family of Christmas
Makes you think.
to give it to other people.
Emma, more like Greta, am I right?
Yeah, she's very Greta Thunberg coded. She gave it away right at the start with that EU top, didn't she?
Yeah, exactly. That was the warning sign right now.
Thanks, Emma. You've made us penniless,
Thanks.
but at least we've given all our stuff to other people.
Wishing you a magical Christmas with Lidl.
Just communist Christmas.
Terrible.
I thought it was going really quite well up until the twist here, and then she's like, "No, I'm gonna give all our gifts to random black kids, essentially." so there we are. No, objectively speaking, I thought that Lidl may have had the best Christmas advert of the.
It was definitely better. Yeah.
Of the supermarkets, obviously we may have some quibbles with the redistribution of wealth angle. However, I feel that what would Jesus say? Right, Jesus would actually be all right with that solution. I feel like Jesus would be all right with Emma, giving all those material possessions to other people in the spirit of giving. So. Yeah, I feel like Lidl won the supermarket wars. and may actually be, apart from the hard-hitting realism of JD Sports, that's probably the best advert we've seen. So I'll give that one 8 out of 10, despite the political connotations of it. So
yeah. I remembered an absolute awful one again. You got to boot up the Sky. It's on page 2, midway down.
Sky. Hold on. I mean, would you give that one 8? That one that we were just
saw? Yeah, I would say so. It's a nice family, good food.
Was it Sky Cinema, the little girl?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think you're beautiful, and I feel really warm when I am around you.
You want the moon? I'll give you the moon, right?
Come with me.
You did say you loved me, so I'm thinking I've got a date. If you'll have me. If you'll have me. Good luck.
Hello. I feel warm around you. I'll give you the moon. Come with me to the cinema, if you'll have me.
No.
Yeah, sure. Son of a nutcracker.
Could have been a good advert, but it was ruined by one detail in particular, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, you got to ask the question. Like, what are the parents doing? She's just on the tablet constantly. How many films is that you letting your child watch unsupervised? This is why. This is what's happened. You've checked out of parenting.
That's a good point. Any others before we get out of here? Let's have a look.
There's one called Lottery. I can't remember if it is actually funny, but in my head, it's like a random American advert trying to sell a lottery at Christmas time, and there was something just quite amusingly bleak about it that I thought would be entertaining to watch. It's right at the end of the list. It should be
lottery. Oh, here we are. Connecticut lottery gift.
Yes.
What should you gift? How about scratch tickets?
They are so really fun. Forget the matching sweaters
Or socks.
We should gift better.
Give the gift of scratch so they can win some extra cash. Oh yeah, and this year there's a second chance. Holiday scratch tickets from the Connecticut Lottery are here now with second chance drawing. Gift better this holiday.
Okay.
Give the gift of scratch. I just thought that was just so unbelievably bleak. Just imagine you open up little Jimmy, whatever you got for on Christmas Day. Oh, a scratch card.
Oh man. All right. Well, I mean, in general, I would say there were many bland ones this year. I like the JD Sports. I kind of like the little one at the end. I think that advert was Little Island, according to the labeling.
Right. Okay.
So I'm wondering if that was coded specifically for the Irish market, where, of course, everybody is a socialist in Ireland. I mean, maybe, I don't know. There's a few more here. There's Etsy. Bob, there's Peter. Peter is always really.
Yeah, we should do the Peter and we should do the Apple one as well. I think.
Where is the Apple?
Everyone was. This was the one that everyone was saying there was like whatever the MAGA hordes were going crazy for.
I don't think I did. Did you give me that one? Oh, here we are. Yeah. Apple. Here we are. Here we are. Yep. We'll do Apple and Peter, and then we'll hit the super chats and get out of here.
Sweet. I think I know what it is. Are you serious? Guys, thank you. The color that you wanted. How did you know this is
I got the moon.
John, listen.
Light the fire. You place the flowers in the vase that you bought today.
Another guitar.
He's so excited. Here you go, Haley.
Happy birthday. Look at the picture of me and you, Daddy. Look at the moon. Daddy, tickle me. I am a robot. What is that?
See ya. Everything is easy 'cause of
I love you, Papa.
you.
Interesting. That was very heavily veteran coded, wasn't it? It was clearly.
You think so?
I think the suggestion that he was a vet, this guy.
Right. Okay.
Who'd lost his hearing, and I mean, whichever way you look at it, this was targeted at MAGA. And this was targeted at the people who would have voted for Trump. This advert. This guy voted for Trump. Just like the Amazon advert, this guy voted for Trump too. Interesting. It was pretty good though, wasn't it? Good advert.
No, I think it's just
go on, Ferro. Tell me why it was bad.
I just like whatever. Aren't we so good? You know, it's a hearing aid device as well. I hate AirPods. I think they look really stupid, and I don't like the aesthetics of them.
Heartless, Ferro.
Sentimental nonsense. The single male tear there. Look at it. Pathetic. Look at this man. Worn out. There's nothing to him at all. He's just sitting having his coffee. He's thinking to himself, I used to be a real man. I used to be fighting against my enemies, devastating them. And I used to be a master of war, and now I'm stuck here watching my daughter do a very poor quality cover on an acoustic guitar that costs too much money.
They did layer on a bit thick with the tear at the end, I suppose. It's okay, pizza. They're always good to bring everybody down at the end. Oh, we should give a rating. I reckon the Apple was an 8 or a 9. If I had to rank, I'm going to go JD Sports as my number 1, Apple number 2, and I'm going to give Lidl number 3. That's where I go this year. So I don't know if you can remember which ones you would. Which one?
I think you're probably right for Lidl for the best supermarket. There's a lot of forgettable. Like you said, I think it was nothing that really jumped out at me, if I'm honest with you.
The Amazon one wasn't terrible.
That's awful.
It was just an advert. The thing is that they're like, you know, unless you're JD Sports, you're not creating high art here. Okay, but
JD was, maybe you're right. I think JD was probably the best. I hate to say it, grudgingly so.
This is gonna be. I can see where this is going. I'm already loving this one. if this ends the way I hope it does, it's going to be unintentionally the most incredible advert.
Where's my gal gone? Brilliant.
Oh, unintentionally, we've got a late contender.
You like that one? Just for the dark inevitability of it.
Oh man. Oh, I'm in tears here. That was incredible. It's between Peter and JD Sports. That's a late 9 or even a 10 out of 10 for me. Oh man, the cow's not here, mummy. Yeah, wrapping steak for dinner, Emily. Oh man. Okay. Whew. Let's hit a bit of super chats, and we'll get out of here. Well, I mentioned earlier on the Wonka social contract with the with the single mother raise. I happened to watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Well, I watched half of it with AAA the other day because I have a project for the next year called Project Veruca Salt, where I want to make sure that AAA isn't spoilt. But I had this idea that it's only going to work if she actually knows who Veruca Salt is. So I thought we'd watch Wonka so she could see how horrible Veruca Salt is. Well, of course, AAA being contrary as she is, I like Veruca Salt, Daddy. Does she always get what she wants? Yeah. That's not very good. She's spoiled. Oh, I like Veruca Salt. So she's now tried to be contrary to say that actually Veruca Salt is good. But
I just love that she's her father's daughter. The contrarianism genetically encoded in you.
But I mean, we only watched half of the film, and Wonka doesn't actually turn up for like an hour in. I forgot how late Gene Wilder is in turning up in that movie. But here is the social contract that I worked out. There's that thing of the
yeah.
I mean,
drop for me, yeah.
The four parents in that are in bed, and they mention that they've been in bed for 20 years. That means for 20 years, Mrs. Bucket here was supporting her family, like that entire family. The father is dead. They're so poor, they eat nothing but cabbage soup, right? And what little bit of money Charlie brings in on his paper round, he spends on some bread. And it's suggested that he actually hands his money over to Grandpa Joe, who then spends the money on cigarettes. So I mean, it's a very dark social contract because the only thing that we see them buy, this family, are cabbages, chocolate from Bill there, indirect goes to Wonka, and cigarettes. I mean, it's kind of it's very dark. They're so poor in that as well. Like they live in this little shack. It's almost like a kind of shantytown shack that's made out of like corrugated iron on the edge of town.
Brilliant.
I've always wondered about the crushing poverty in Wonka because they're not just like they're really poor in that like breadline starvation. I think it's suggested that the reason that the four parents stay in bed is because they're malnourished because all they eat is cabbage soup, right? And because they can't afford the heating, so they have to stay in bed under the blanket. Otherwise, it's too cold. But yeah, very, very, very interesting. So just a couple of super chats. Coney says, "Was there no John Lewis advert to be disappointed by this year? They always fall short of the Penguin ad. their Indian CEO is stepping down next year. Was there a John Lewis ad? That's
yeah. I forgot to do it. Is it on the list?
Having a look. Yeah, there's usually a song and dance about John Lewis, isn't there? But
I think everyone knows they've been. Yeah, I haven't got it on there. Sorry.
I don't think there is. Oh no, there is one.
There is
one.
A John,
yeah, there is a John. Should we watch it? Let's do it.
Yeah.
There's a McDonald's one I noticed as well that we skipped. Maybe we could do the McDonald's one too. Where was it? John Lewis. There's one here somewhere. Vodafone, Asda. Hold on a minute. John Lewis. Here we are.
John Lewis closing in 15 minutes.
What are you looking for?
Something for you.
You're not going to find it.
No, not here.
I don't want a doll.
I want a nose ring.
She should have just said no. The answer was not saying jewelry. The answer was just saying no, you can't have a nose ring.
Terrible.
Holly, or whatever your name is.
Is it a politician? What's his common This is happening. Everything's gonna be fine. He's healthy. He's amazing. He's a boy. Yes. Come join us. I
can't. Do you know this? What's interesting about this advert, Ferro?
What's that?
There's a trope of tired mum, like tired woman in
she's tired.
TV,
I'm tired.
right? But she's of a slightly lower class than this. What's interesting about this advert is she is kind of like middle class tired mum, or she's even upper middle class tired mum. She's posh, but she's still tired. I find that interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
This is mine. What's your problem? It doesn't even look good on you. Get out of my room. And you still haven't even found me a gift. You actually came. Stop this face. Oh, Sal, get out! What are you doing up there? Hurry up!
I also like how this advert is quietly critical of like horrible modern liberalism. Ferro, it's kind of like, she kind of knows that degeneracy is going on around her, and she kind of doesn't like it. But it's interesting, very interesting.
Sinking faster than a boat without a hull, my love.
What took you so long? You.
She didn't actually get the nose ring either. So
no, she did. She had a nose ring at the end. Also,
where?
In the last shot, isn't it? If you zoom in, look.
Oh no! Oh, she's undone all her good work right there.
I realised though they're meant to be sisters, aren't they? That's not mother and daughter.
Oh right. So the daughter is the little girl.
So basically, she's shopping for a gift for her sister,
right?
And she's metaphorically going into the attic of her mind to retrace memories with her sister.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes.
To come up with ideas for presents. So there's little moments where, for example, when her sister first wanted a nose ring.
That is her sister when she was a teenager.
Yes, that's right. And she's got a nose ring. And so she's saying, oh, maybe I could get her some jewelry. She's getting inspired by ideas of the past.
Very high concept.
And then look there, so zoom on. Her sister's got a child.
Preggers, preggers.
Yeah. And then, so present for the child.
That was back in there, and that's why they had the Manics in there, because they were. She was thinking back to the 90s when they were teenagers.
Yes, back to the 90s. Yes.
I see. Very high concept for a John Lewis advert.
And then
this is some mythical part where they were living in Notting Hill in the 2000s, which didn't ever actually happen. But
what's the name of the pub? What's the name of the pub? The Knowing.
The Knowing Fox.
Oh, I thought it said the Knowing Fox. There you go. And then they finally, she works out what the present is, and then manages to get it for her sister, basically.
I see. So she didn't actually want a nose ring because that was a flashback.
That's correct.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. Got it.
It
wasn't bad though, actually, was it?
It was
about
it was okay. I feel like the concept's too complicated and it wasn't that clear narratively, and because it was very fast paced. So you're doing all of these flashbacks, etc. I think it's hard to pick up on all of the cues.
I think possibly lack of male authority figures hurt the lives of these two girls.
I mean,
so
one on the left looks like a Roman, doesn't she? You know, it's all gone wrong for her.
Yeah, one of them was sensible and got a corporate job, and the other one was a bit of a tearaway and never settled down. Something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's good though. It was at least a 7 out of 10 from John Lewis.
Yeah, I think.
Anyway, I hope that answers your question, Coney. KG says, great tradition. Merry Christmas, guys. Stephen Minchin says, thanks, AA. Worth a $5 for sheer entertainment value. Coney says, Asda marketing mistakes: number 1, using gnomes. Number 2, having them talk. Number 3, using a Lampedusa gnome. Yeah, absolutely. I might make the chef's kiss Italian the cover star.
Yeah,
although
great.
And then let's have a look if there's been any others in here. Stefan Horn says the direction of the wind seems to be changing. BA's 2004 safety video is also set in the Victorian era. Interesting that, given it's not a commercial that is trying to get you to buy something. Yeah, the thing is about going back to any part of the past is that it kind of reminds all of the immigrants that they're not part of it. Psychologically, drawing on the past is a reminder to all those other people that they shouldn't be here, or that not that they shouldn't be here, but that they're not of here, right? That they're not of here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's it for the super chats as far as I can see. Sam153 says, I love this AA Ferro tradition. Merry Christmas. Well, thank you very much, Sam153. It means so much. A Merry Christmas to you as well. Coney says, I kind of feel sorry for the over-promoted millennial women like Emma. They should be working in a primary school or a hairdresser's. Every marketing department and ad agency should resemble Mad Men.
It'd be more effective, I would say. I think you'd get better results.
Yeah. I wonder if Emma made her KPIs this year.
I will be checking. I'm going to see what they do with the agency, though. AA. I'll find out if they put it up.
Yeah, we need to keep tabs on that story to see where it goes, because I do think the Boots advert. I mean, was it polled? Have they?
No, they didn't. The thing is, they didn't pull it, and it got a lot of views. So, like, hate views. So I bet they'll spin it off as, oh, those bigots or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that there'll be no consequences of it. I don't think Emma will get in trouble. I think they'll.
I also feel that Boots is notoriously well, I just think Boots and its advertising campaign make absolutely no impact on each other. I just think Boots.
Yeah, you're right. They're not going to see like a drop in sales like a Bud Light-esque. So I think I think no one's going to get in trouble.
I almost feel like Boots don't even need to advertise because 99% of people who go there, it's not a destination. It's like I need to pick something up. Let's go to Boots type thing. Not even let's go to Boots. I'm walking past there and I need something, you know. And if you note where their locations are in London, they're always right next to the Underground, because you just need to pick something up before you go down into the Underground, or they're right in the middle of the high street or whatever. So anyway, that's Jenstin just says Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you, Jensen, and thanks for the super chat. Ferro, do you want to remind people about the brand new board game?
Yes, Gauntlet, the board game. We've put links to some details about what it's like. It's the perfect Christmas gift. Just imagine you get all of your friends around for Christmas time, have your family over, and have a great time. There's still a few copies left available to buy to get it before Christmas. So take a look in the show notes and buy it now.
I've just found something, by the way. Time Out magazine rated their top 10 Christmas adverts of the year. And they gave number 1 to Waitrose.
No way.
The Midsummer Murders.
It was that average, pathetically average.
They gave number 2 to Morrisons.
I think Morrisons was better than you think. I think it did a good job of showcasing the food. The food shots were really good.
They gave Tesco number 3, and they said that it has a 10 out of 10 level of artistic ambition with Cronenberg levels of body horror. What?
We didn't see the Tesco.
I have to see this.
Come on.
Tesco Christmas advert. Tesco Christmas advert 2024. We have to try to watch this. Helping feed your Christmas spirit. Okay, let's just watch it through the browser. Let's watch it through the browser here.
See you next week, mate. I don't know. And the outfit was too small for him. You're joking. Yeah, I know.
Gary, before I forget.
Merry Christmas.
Club card accepted.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi there. Just looking out on the tree where you can't get what you want, you can't get it.
Look what Gran's made for you. Can I have a look at that wonderful drawing?
That's lovely.
Grandad. Very nice, eh? She would have loved this.
looking out for the day when you're close to me.
Oddly kind of depressing advert, really, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, there was something distinctly schizophrenic about it, or Hunter S. Thompson, when the world is slowly turning into gingerbread as he's going along,
It's kind of I can see what they mean about the Cronenberg body horror, but it was more like a kind of, he was kind of mourning for his lost grandmother.
It was a real plod. It was a real plod, really dull, and it didn't spark any joy in me at all.
No, not joyous, because it was just depressing. R8 has just sent $5. Arve Lucifer says, I would love to see Morrissey in a Christmas ad. Yeah, that would cheer everybody up, I'm sure. They gave Sainsbury's number 4. That was the BFG one. They gave M&S number 5 with the Dawn French. They gave Boots number 6. Boo. They gave John Lewis number 7, which they compare to David Lynch's Eraserhead. Apparently, this Time Out writer is having an absolute laugh, isn't it? I mean, the John Lewis advert was not like a David Lynch's Eraserhead, but it was kind of high concept, because he was going through her mind and so on and so forth. So, Aldi, they gave 1 out of 10. That was the one with the Kevin the Carrot, if you remember. Amazon, they have a number 9, which I disagree with. I think that the Amazon advert was better than some of these others. And they gave McDonald's number 10, which we didn't watch. Although you did give me McDonald's. Should we sign off on McDonald's?
Fine. The last one.
Do McDonald's at the end here. Feel like this is about 10 years behind trend with this soundtrack. Ferro. Wasn't this big like 10 years ago?
Like 20 years ago.
15 years ago. 20 years ago. Yeah. Flat Eric, basically. It's Flat Eric from the 90s. From the early 2000s. 20-year-old trend. Flat Eric. Fat beat. Fat bass. They're clearly in like the cheapest part of town because you don't get those big big lights. Those big, the huge, like where the entire house is lit up and so on.
Right.
You only get that in certain areas.
Okay.
Push, till I can get my satisfaction.
It was
terrible.
Just a bit meh, wasn't it? Really,
gauche and offensive. Yeah.
Well, it was 10th on their list, and they actually gave Lidl number 11. The one that I thought was quite good. Yeah. They gave it the lowest of their. They thought it was the worst advert. The worst advert that they said cabin fever climate of your average British Christmas is enough to turn the meekest 8-year-old into a dangerous psychopath who are more likely to use their magical powers to turn their siblings into mice. Whoever wrote that Time Out piece was Alice Saville was like, I do not want to do this, editor.
You know that she has a master's degree in French art house cinema and has just sort of ended up like driftwood on the editorial team at Time Out doing top 10 Christmas advert lists. Just like her dreams shattered, and now she's just she's got a half drunk bottle of Bailey's by her side as she writes this with the just sheer anger and bitterness at her own life.
Well, unless you found your 5 minutes of fame, love, because you've been featured on Academic Agent's Christmas adverts roundup special. So there we are. Last couple of super chats come in. I think there was one last one saying, Illuminati. Craigo has sent £2. Illuminatus says, watch the World of Tanks holiday ops vid with Jason Statham. Craigo has sent another £2, and Bob Shelter says, deepest law on AA's fascination with George Sanders. Merry Christmas. Well, thank you very much, and Merry Christmas, everyone. There'll be no deepest law next week, and I don't know, probably not the week after, because that's New Year's Day. So we'll be back in a couple of weeks with Adam Curtis review continuing. But thank you very much, Ferro. Pick up a course at the Academic Agency for Christmas, of course. But most importantly of all, everybody, get out.
What goes on in this town is none of your business.
As long as I'm living here, it is.
Then maybe you shouldn't be living here!
Well, that's easily fixed.